Let's go! It's time! Cincinnati, we gon' rise and up. In the jungle, we unite and up. Trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. To the beast and on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night.
Welcome to another episode of Bengals and Brews. I am Dell. I'm joined by the co-host that is never here, but he's here, Derek Davis.
What up, girls?
And then we also have this sexy sumbitch down bottom, Santori Miles.
It's just because I trimmed my beard.
Houday Joe is also supposed to be here, but, running late, apparently.
It's all right.
Yeah, you did trim the beard, but it looks good. You didn't get rid of it. See, if you got rid of it, that'd be a whole thing.
No, I have to have it because I'm fat and it hides the double chin. But
that's why I got my beard.
Yeah,
Shut up, Derek. Skinny. We don't like you skinnies around here. We're skinny cutters.
Skinny cutters. Jesus Christ. We're going to start that already?
No,
we're not.
We made it 12 seconds off the intro.
Oh.
But yeah, we're going to talk a little Burrow contract because PFF was at, I don't know that Brad Spielberger. I'm just guessing fucking names at this point. PFF Brad, maybe. Somebody put out an article. Said 4 years, 200 and something million. You can tell I did my research for this one. I didn't have a 2.5 hour show earlier.
Yeah.
But there was a guy who put out a thing about a contract with certain years and certain numbers in it.
It's not vague at all.
I'm looking it up right now if you guys want to filibuster.
But I do think it was a 4-year extension, which we got to think. You still got Burrow for a couple years, so.
Brad Spielberger's 4 years, $214 million.
Hey.
You was damn close, girl.
Hey.
You said 4 years, 214?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that would be 6 years in total.
Does it say any kind of cash bonuses, or is it just an average value?
That was per the Cincinnati network on there. I just saw their clip of that, but
I have no idea.
Yes and no. In favor of it or not. It depends on the cash that gets shelled out up front. The average annual, the average annual value is not a problem at all. It's 53.5, which is what he's going to get. That's just kind of that's just going to be the going rate moving forward. Someone's going to get 53, someone's going to get 54, then 55. It's all going to be within that dollar range, right? The big difference is how much of that 214 is going to have to be put into escrow. Is it just 60 million, or is it the same 100 to 150 that we're kind of hearing about? If it's the same dollar amount that I'm hearing for the big contract, the potential 10-year one, then I'm 100% against it, because that means that I'm going to have to do that twice. If it's a smaller amount, that means I have more cash for T and Jamar and everybody else. So it really depends on how much cash and escrow is going to be utilized for that contract. If it is a smaller cash amount up front, I might be 100% for it, because that means I get to keep the rest of the team around me.
No, but that's one projection. They would be better off, right, me not being a money cap guy, but they'd be better off like the Mahomes thing, right? And a lot of people think, no one's going to do those contracts anymore, but like a big 10-year deal like that where you have more flexibility.
Right, and I know a lot of people say that nobody's going to do the Mahomes contract anymore. I hope they do, because that offers the most flexibility on the planet. And I'll get into why in a second. But Mike Brown's referenced the Mahomes contract on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
They really are going to try and push for that, just kind of reading between the lines. I don't know anything. I haven't talked to anybody about it. But just when Mike Brown talks, he's not, he's not talking out his ass. He doesn't talk
like you and I.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike, the Brown and Blackburn family does not open their mouth unless something is set in stone. They are lawyers. They are smart people. They're not going to even broach a subject unless there is a very high possibility. So with the fact that they've mentioned the Mahomes setup on more than one occasion, I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but
that's probably what they
want it for sure. And the reason they want it, for those of you that don't know, and I know some people are going to see, it was a 10-year extension. I think the official number was 450, but because of the 5th-year option, the 2 years remaining ended up being like 512 or something, right? He did not have much of a signing bonus. There was not much cash up front, which is why Kansas City was able to retain their defense for as long as they were. The reason why Mahomes was good with that is because of something called rolling guarantees. I'm going to simplify this as much as I can.
Please do.
So let's say the first 2 years of his contract were pretty standard in terms of guaranteed money. But year 3 rolls around, right? Year 3 or year 4, however they wrote it. If he makes the team in year 4, we'll start at year 4 of that extension, then year 4 and year 5 are guaranteed. Okay, but they don't have to shell out that money because it's not guaranteed money. He's just kind of locked in, right? There's protection. If they would want to cut him, they would owe him like 75 or 80% of both years combined up front as a signing bonus to get rid of his ass. So essentially, I have to pay you 1.5 years to 2 years in advance to cut you today. And every year that he continues to make the roster, you add another year on to that guarantee. But it really it's kind of like you make it 1 year and you get 2 more years kind of thing. So it never outpaces. It always just kind of goes year to year to year to year, if that makes sense. But once you start getting up to having a salary of $55 million, like these guys are going to have, at some point it's going to cost $80 million to cut you, which no one is going to do that.
Right.
And then you get to, I think there's a certain point in his contract where there is like a $20 million buyout, which is pretty standard on those large deals. But you pay less cash up front because as long as you make the roster, the next 2 years are guaranteed. So that's basically,
but that's like formality stuff for these elite quarterbacks, like that.
Right. You're gonna make it, right? You're gonna make the team. If for whatever reason you're not making the team, it's gonna be something along the lines of, not that we're trying to rehash.
I gotta get
here.
the super chat in. We don't get these very often. Not to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, that's good. 9 to 5.
Sorry. Every time I see that, I think of Dolly.
Yeah, but don't make me have to go through and cut that out.
So, every time Joe throws a touchdown,
I was off key, so we're good.
Every time Joe throws,
Rowdy's
a touchdown
definitely getting the Higgins though. That Rowdy is Clemson guy down there. That's our guy.
If
mine should be here Saturday.
Is it going to be every? Sorry, I'm sorry.
I know you're in your zone. We got Santori in the zone.
Yeah, we do.
We're trying to still,
I was trying to go off the Dolly thing.
I
know.
Yeah.
Right. Every Joe to T touchdown or first down, are we going to get a little 9 to 5 played?
You have to, don't you? It has to be played.
Even if it's just like that little 5 seconds where she's going, I'm working 9 to 5 after a Joe to T first down.
After a first down, boom. Yeah.
Like,
instead of us doing our 1, 2, 3 first down, we'll just start singing Dolly.
No.
You don't want to sing the Dolly?
1, 2, 3 first down, man.
Oh, come on.
Everyone should be doing that in the stadium, by the way. Just find you a buddy. And then Jeff gets really he's jumping over us if we're doing
if Joey Votto's walk-up song can be Jolene, we can have 9 to 5 after a Joe to T first down.
And, rest in peace, Mama. But that was her song, man. Even when she was in her hospital bed after her stroke, man. You put on that Jolene, and that would get her at least her foot moving. Yeah, that was her song.
Dolly had some great ones, man.
Some bangers.
Mm-hmm. Dolly had some bangers. That's so weird to say.
Got some bangers.
Well, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, we were talking cam titties earlier. Cam titties.
Cam titties. I love that idea. I'm all in on Cam Smith now.
That's what I said, Matt.
I have not watched
our boy
anything.
Our boy Matt, though, he really likes Cam Smith, and we're like, you know, we went through corners, so he's like corner 7 or 8 for me, 7, I think. So I'm like, you know, we'll get there. He's just blowing up, and then we let people on at the end. Matt hops on, and somehow we talked about, you know, we got Cam Taylor Britt, and then we'd have Cam Smith, the double cams, the cams, the cams, the cans. And then it's like, oh, this is gold. Yeah, we need some cam titties.
We can literally have beers, but when I'm holding them up,
I'm
holding them up like this.
Yeah. Are their numbers?
Like this right here. Instead of having
their
the end
numbers
of this, you just put their faces or their numbers, and you go cam titties. I love
beautiful.
It. We're all about making money, and we will make it.
Centauri's like, why did I come on here?
But anyways,
to Burrow contracts.
Yeah.
But no, that's long story short. The rolling guarantees, you know, it kind of is a professional's way of writing down in a gentleman's handshake that you're going to be here. We know you're going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make it incredibly difficult.
He's going to be
ourselves.
Here. He's going to be here.
Basically, the team is saying if we have to get rid of you, it's going to put us in a bad spot. So, and I'm sure there's stuff written in the contract, and not to rehash current situations, but, you know, if you do some dumb shit like somebody's being accused of in Cincinnati right now, that they could probably void it. Outside of that, you make the team, you're here.
Yeah. Yeah. And one question I had was, everybody said by the end of Burrow's rookie contract, we will have at least one Super Bowl. This still could happen. I'm not saying it won't happen.
That's technically 2 more years.
Yeah, we technically have 2 more years to signal or to. But my question was going to be, by the end of his next contract, if you guys were betting people, if I set the over under it at 1.5, would you go over or under?
Well, first and foremost, I think they're going to win this year.
Yeah,
I
got a weird feeling about it too, man.
I just think that they have the best chance in terms of their roster setup. I think that
crossing every T and dotting every I.
If you look at like the final 10 teams that made it last year, so basically outside of the wild card round, however many's left, 8, whatever there is. I just think that of those teams that would return, they have the most complete unit. They haven't lost nearly as much.
And there's something for losing in that division, like the championship game, and not going to the Super Bowl historically, that a lot of teams end up winning after that.
Thank you, Jay Morrison and Paul Daner, for that little fun fact right there.
Like teams that are on the rise, especially like, I don't know, like obviously anything can happen, but I feel really damn good about us winning it this year too.
Yeah, and I don't think ever in my life I've actually picked them to win the Super Bowl. I've been right.
I've bet on it a lot.
I've never picked them. I've never picked them to win it. During the Super Bowl run we had 2 years ago, I remember before the season starting saying if they can give Burrow some time, they might be able to make a run, and that was as much as I've ever predicted. And then last year, I thought they were going to lose in the championship round to the Chiefs.
Bengals are plus 900 right now to win Super Bowl 2024.
Take it.
Teams ahead of them are Kansas City Chiefs at plus 600, San Fran at plus 750, Buffalo Bills at plus 850. Buffalo's always above us for some reason.
That's fine.
And yeah. And then the Philadelphia Eagles at plus 850.
Honestly, if
San Fran, who the hell's the quarterback?
I'm not sure.
I can understand the.
It's because
if you look at that defense, man, and the NFC,
100%. I get it, but I'm also like, man, it's a little weird to have them that high.
Their quarterback is their head coach. He pretty much just runs things. Oh, here's a great question by Rowdy. I do like that question a lot. Sorry about that, Dale.
Yeah, I was just
What would a T extension look like? You got to think that it's going to be maybe not top of the market wide receiver 1, but if you was to say top of the market wide receiver 2, could you potentially see that?
He's so damn good. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw out numbers and then let Santori say, yeah, right below a lot of money. Yeah, that's good. That's just me tossing out numbers. I'll say it has to start at like 4 years, $85 million.
It might be a little light.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just me tossing out numbers.
Here's the deal. Someone is going to offer more than the Bengals do.
On the open market. That's why I don't want him to get there.
Somebody will want him to
That's why I don't want him to get there. That's why I want to sign him this offseason.
If it gets to the point that the Bengals are bidding with 31 other teams, because you can't convince me that there's one team not interested in T. Higgins, they will get outbid. I'm not saying that necessarily is a detriment to the Bengals. It's just the fact of they're going to pay Jamar, and unfortunately they have to make a decision on T before they pay Jamar just because of the way the contracts line up. Top receivers right now are routinely getting 28 to 33 a year.
Oh God, I was way low. My bad.
So you're at 22. If the Bengals retain him, top flight 2 money to low 1 is kind of 22 right now. But someone, I don't know who it is, someone is going. It could be a team with a young quarterback. It could be a team that just thinks they need one more receiver to get over the hump, and they're not paying their quarterback or their defense yet, and they're going to throw 35 at T a year. It wouldn't surprise me.
But I don't want him to get on the market for that reason. And I've been saying that. Like, this is the time to sign him now. And where you could still franchise him next year. Plus, let's give him that money. Like,
the only thing working against you is his agent. His agent knows it's probably 22 to 26 a year with Cincinnati, but his agent knows it's probably 28 to 35 a year in Green Bay.
David Mullen gutless. Sorry.
And we've been through this song and dance with Jesse Bates, which, to Dale's credit, it is important to get him signed as soon as possible, because if it gets to a bidding war with 31 other teams,
Jesse Bates, but like, we're just not going to do it. It's just not going to happen because of, like you said, Jamar is still the guy that we've got to sign at a super high top dollar. Well, if anything, we could look at the T contract and be comparing it to what Jamar might get.
Right. I mean, that's probably what it's going to be, especially if he leaves and goes somewhere. A lot of people are going to be.
Sarah, did she say put that thing in there?
She literally just said don't put that thing in there when you're done. But she was talking about my cigar, not my little cigar.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I didn't know
everyone
what
laughed
she was
at you
talking
because
about,
they was thinking something else.
When
you're snipped now, baby.
What's going on, Joe?
What's up, guys? Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
You're good.
It's okay. Sarah did that for us.
The thing that might upset a lot of people when I say this, if T does happen to leave, it doesn't necessarily break my heart, because I personally don't believe in paying 2 receivers at the same time, especially that kind of money. It can be done, but the moment you pay 2, someone on the line or your defense starts to get picked apart.
So
it's one of those things where I'm all for paying my star players. Don't get me wrong. I'm not cheap. But once you start, I call it positions of duality. When you have positions where 2 guys are on the field, Corner, there's 2 of them. Actually, 3. Safety,
Yeah.
there's 2. Defensive ends,
It
there's
makes
2.
sense. Like, this is logical.
I like to pay one and bring one up and develop one and to kind of layer the contracts. If you
Trey
start
Henderson, Joseph Osai, you've got Dax
right
Hill and
that's why it wouldn't surprise me if they draft a guy like Emmanuel Forbes in the first round, because you've got some corners that are getting ready to be up and they're not going to necessarily want to pay a corner if you're having to pay T. If you pay T, you definitely can't pay a corner. You kind of have to start looking at who can I pay and when I pay, because here's the deal. Like Dale said, and like Derek, you kind of brought it up. I think it was pre-show. A lot of the great teams only pay 3 or 4 really big contracts, then start trickling down. Every time you pay one big contract, that's typically 3 or 4 other players that you're going to have on rookie deals. It's just that's kind of how it's weighted, especially with 53 players. So it gets dicey. If T leaves, it's not a terrible thing. Do I want to retain him? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've had Coach Cam on a lot, and he has said the same thing. He said, I love T. I hope we keep him. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be with the guy that gets squeezed out because he said it would be so hard to pay Higgins, Chase, and Burrow, 3 guys getting so much freaking money. So, but is that, I was getting to that, guys. So show the hat, because this is, you know, hey, we would like to make our money back. Joe set up a whole shop for a year. We are not close to making our money back right now. Even though the Cam Kitty shirt sold and we appreciate it, we got a lot of other merch on there, including that hat. And I fucking love that hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I got Derek and Dale's. You guys, I'll get your guys shipped out. So
if it fits my fat head, it might not fit my fat head. It might just have to let it sit in the back.
Well, it's a trucker hat, so I mean.
Speaking of fat heads, don't forget this bad boy right here. We're doing a giveaway on.
Is that the draft cap for this year?
But show it up close. Show it up close, Joe. We gotta show this hat up.
Oh, Joe.
Look at this. Bengals fucking Bruce hat.
It's
clean. It's original.
They have trucker style. We have different collars on there. We have pink ones, you know, if you want to buy one for your wife or your side piece. Whatever you got.
Side piece.
Like if you want to show a little femininity.
So the link, the easiest way to find it, rather than me trying to rattle off a URL, is just go to the Bengals and Brews Twitter page. It's right there on the homepage. There's a link to like one shirt, but you just click on that. You can get to all the merch right through there.
There's a lot of good shit on there.
Yeah, tons of stuff. I keep adding stuff as
if I do say so myself.
It's good shit.
Yeah, real good shit.
Speaking of good shit, what all are we drinking right now? I've got some delicious horse soldier
Mountain Dew for Santori. I can tell you what he's drinking.
I'm not drinking anything exciting. I'm a sucker for the summer shandy. Starting to get warmer out. Trying to get in summer mode.
Guys, I'm going to shock you.
They made the cask
Miller Lite, guys.
To make these bottles, like the shape of them and everything. They use steel from the Twin Towers to do this.
You were telling us that one time.
Yeah, that's why I love this bourbon right here, because a portion of the proceeds I think go to wounded warriors and stuff like that. So,
Jesus, talk about fucking just changing the whole mood of the show.
Hey, I'm all about. I mean,
I know. I love America too.
If you want to change the mood again, put Crypt Keeper's comment up there.
What? Which one? Burrow Extension or Drew Sample resign? I say the Drew Sample resign. What do you guys think?
You guys saw me earlier. I said I don't give a fuck if it's Joe Mixon throwing a touchdown to Jonah Williams with Drew Sample blocking. If we win a Super Bowl, I will be going streaking.
Good
and
point.
I will be so excited, and no one can tell me anything. I think so happy. I will hug everyone I can find.
I think they would re-sign Mitch Wilcox before they would re-sign Joe Sample. Or Drew Sample, personally.
Drew Sample's brother, Joe.
Yeah.
So maybe you already said this, Santori. So you said, you could see a scenario where someone throws crazy money at T, like $35 million a year. So what do you think his market is? And what do you think if you were making the decision on what you'd be comfortable extending T right now per year?
Quite frankly, Rowdy put a pretty solid number up there in the chat. 4 years, 95. I'd be very comfortable with that. I might go up to a total value of 110, 120s when you're starting to get into that 30 mil range, and that scares me. It also depends on how they structure Joe. It also depends on how they structure Jamar.
4 years, 100 million, 25 a year, sold.
Okay. But here's a hypothetical,
Let's
right?
just get it done. Let's do it for the Bengals.
Okay.
Done.
T, if you're watching, 4 years,
T,
100 mil.
You're back.
So just so everyone has some context, this is some of the top wide receiver salaries, and they have it broken down by per year. So you got
Can
Tyreek
you make
at
that
the
any
top.
bigger? I mean, Jesus Christ, the
shit.
fucking commercials for the Chevy fucking shit is bigger than the.
You think they're
I mean, you
trying to
could
sell
take us out.
Colorados?
God, jeez. What the heck? And the more I zoom in, the more it just goes away.
There you go.
All right, there you go. So you got Tyreek at the top with 30.
He's ready to retire.
And
He
you
is.
got a lot of guys in that, 25, 23 range, and then it starts to drop off in the 20 range. I think personally his market value is probably in the 20 to 24 range right now.
Look at the ages for the top 4 too. That's kind of
29, 31, 31, 30. Yeah.
Yeah, they got their. Well, it's the next round of contracts that are going to be coming up. Jefferson will be one to keep an eye on, right?
Yeah.
We always talk about.
Yeah.
Look
He'll probably be the one to set the market.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be an astronomical amount because he's a very, very talented player.
He's the guy. He's the face of that.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at those top 5 in general, or because those are the ones that recently were just re-signed or got their extensions within the past couple years, right?
Yep.
So if you look at those top 5, could you say add 20% to that, 10% to that?
The way that they do it is each position, if you're top in your position, it's never directly tied to a percentage of the salary cap. But wide receivers typically make between 12 and 10 to 13-ish percent of the cap. And what they do is they take the average, they take that percent, and then that's going to be the average annual value for the year that they sign. So if we're saying T gets an extension this coming year, right? The cap this year is 228.2. Okay. At 13%, which would be absolute top maxed out value, you're looking about $32 million a year. Times 4 is 128.
Yeah.
So if someone pays him absolute top dollar, the next big contract you're going to see is going to be about 32 to 33 mil a year. And that's kind of where that number comes from. So when I always kind of laugh when I say people reset the market doesn't necessarily reset because it's always a percentage of the pie. The pie just always gets bigger, but the percentage kind of stays the same. Yeah. So the thing that's going to help you is the fact that he's never had number 1 target share with Cincinnati. So he's going to be somewhere between high 2 to low 1 because no one's going to guarantee him high 1 because he's never been a number 1 guy by himself.
Well, he was
not even last year.
His rookie year, he was, wasn't he?
Kind of.
I
mean, you could say Boyd.
Target wise, I thought last year he did because Chase was injured.
Well, he still had Chase for a long portion of it. Chase still had 1,200 yards or whatever he did.
He was still the 2, if you had to say. But I was trying to look at this list and say, all right, is there, other guys on this list? And I don't know how, recent their contracts were, but guys that were, this 1B or number 2 on their team, Godwin,
I
Metcalf.
agree. Sorry,
Metcalf, I think, is 1A though.
I agree. He's somewhere. If I had to pick an area on this
Mike
chart,
Williams right there.
He's somewhere between, in terms of a talent level, I would put him somewhere around that AJ Brown to Deebo Samuel range in that area.
I'd agree.
The issue is those contracts that were signed were 2 years ago at 23 to 25.
Right.
So if those guys were, let's say those were 11 percenters, I don't know exactly where they were. I'd have to do the math.
Yeah.
You could probably add 3 or 4 mil to what those guys have, and that's going to get you close. So he's starting to look up to 27, 28 a year, which puts you right in that 4-year 95, 4-year 105 range. That's kind of where I'm getting the number.
Yeah. And then if you look at that from that standpoint, then you've got Jamar Chase, which will be he will reset the market.
Right.
Jamar
He'll
Chase will be the number
he'll be
one
one of those
highest paid
guys.
receiver.
Yeah.
The fun
then-
thing. Go ahead.
I was just want to say, and then when you've got him, if you count him at, let's say he'll be by that time probably around 38. Does that sound about right? Within 2 years?
I'd say probably 35 to 36.
35, okay.
38 might be a tad high, but you never know. Sometimes people
Yeah.
throw more money.
And
then-
Tori, that's not really you don't have any Silverados, do you?
I don't sell Chevys.
That's what I thought.
I have a used one. Actually, I have a 2500 HD, but
I got one to sell. I
Always
just
doing
blew the
business.
training out. So that's what I'm repairing right now. But
All right, kid.
no, anyway. So you've got 35. Let's just put a solid number on it.
Yeah.
35 mil for
That's
Jamar
fine.
Chase. You've got 32 mil for T. Higgins. You've got 55
Yeah, 50, 55.
for Burrow.
you've eaten up half of your cap space between 3 guys.
3 guys. And then you've got the big boy, OBJ.
Mm-hmm. You can't pay anyone
Makes
else.
things really, really difficult.
Right.
But-
Yeah.
There's avenues to do it. The thing that's going to save you is, remember, contracts are backloaded, right?
Mhm.
The Bengals do give cash up front like everybody else does. They have their own kind of way of structuring, but they're still backloaded. Joe Burrow's big money, probably if he signs his extension this year, so this will be his 4th year, 5th year's next year, so that's
Fucking-
2025.
Fucking AJ
He's-
Hawk over here.
He's not going to get big money until about 2026 or 2027. That's when the huge your 45 to 55s are going to start hitting, because those first couple of years are still going to be in the high 30s. It's going to be tolerable. And that kind of goes the same with Jamar. Jamar's big contract isn't going to come up until the year after Joe, which means
Right.
he's not going to have big money until almost 2027, 2028. If you pay T this year, because he's not a 5th-year option guy, and that extension would roll into this season and next year, T's contract will almost be over by the time those guys are really getting paid. There's ways to make this work. So
And-
for the next couple years, it's really not a huge deal. 2027 is kind of the year where it's going to be a pain in the ass. But for the next 2 to 3 years, it's not really an issue.
And I
Also,
think-
always keep
Yeah,
this
that's
in
true.
mind that
That's
the cap
true.
goes
Yeah.
up, guys.
Yeah,
That's
and the other way you can make it work is if your draft picks start hitting and developing quickly. That's the other way.
And that's why we're in the situation we're in, because
Yeah.
the draft
Oh.
picks have hit.
Which
Rowdy,
means-
hold on, Rowdy.
Yeah.
Are you T's agent? Can we get this deal done tonight? Because it sounds good to me. I was willing
Yeah.
to give the 4 years, $100 million,
Mhm.
but you're saying 95, and that'll get it done. With
I
only
would-
a 27 million signing bonus. That's
Yeah,
very
I
reasonable.
would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, done. Deal.
But-
Reason being, if he's getting 27 up front, right? That's prorated over 4 years, so that's 7 a year, 6.8, whatever it comes out to. So now you've got 68 over 4 years. I mean, that means your cap hit the first year is probably going to be like 13 salary. So his cap hit's really only 20 the first year. It'll probably be close to 30 the last year. But then again, if you get to that point and it's looking good, you do what every good team does and you restructure, because wide receivers last. It's not like running backs. It's not like linebackers. You can restructure those guys. If you give him a 3-year extension, you can drop his cap by another couple million. But a $30 million hit at that point, 5 years from now, when the cap's going to be over 300 million, now remember we talked about 13 and 12%. Well, 30 of 300 is back to 10, and it's very affordable. So all of this stuff needs to be taken into consideration.
We figured out how to keep everybody still win Super Bowls. We did it. We did it.
Mike Brown let Bengals and Brews actually let Santori because he figured it out. Let Santori take a look at your financials. We'll figure this all out.
And Rowdy, because he's the agent for T.
So, yeah, exactly.
He fired Malagueta, and he said, "I'm taking over, and let's get this done."
The other thing,
that's how we're going to keep it together, boys.
The other thing that works in your favor, if Joe Burrow only signs a 4-year contract,
I want that 10. I want that 10.
I
want that 12-year.
The longer the better.
I want that King Griffey Jr. I want that fucking who's the one guy still getting paid?
Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah. Bobby Bonilla deal.
Yeah.
Give me that Bobby Bonilla deal. He's got a lifetime contract.
Did you know who was it that said King Griffey Jr. is currently
third highest pay? Yeah.
Can you believe that?
He's still getting paid.
Yeah.
God.
Third highest red, right?
Well, keep in mind that's more a detriment to Castellini than it is Junior. Junior's getting paid.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, granted, I'd love to be retired for 8 years and still making $3.6 million a year.
Right.
But if $3 million is your fourth highest paid player in Major League Baseball, it's not good.
But we're not a Reds podcast.
No, we're not. Let's not talk baseball, please.
All right, no, but let's get into stuff we're not going to talk about. So let's talk about it. Jonah Williams.
Well, I was about to say, speaking of, because you were talking about we're needing to hit on our draft picks. Well, one way to guarantee that is to have more swings at the bat. So going into Jonah Williams, and
I just think, to me, money-wise, especially that could go to which that's another thing to ask Santori here. Is there a point to get rid of like Mixon and Jonah for this year? How much of that money can they actually put toward these guys for this year? There's ways to do it, right?
When you say put money toward these guys, you mean like
T and Joe. And Logan.
Yeah, for sure. They could do what the Bengals of old used to do, and they can roll that cap over.
So I just want to hypothetical this, and then you go with it with the money wise. So let's say we get Darnell Wright falls. We take him at 28. Boom. All right, let's trade Jonah. Maybe only for like a 5th round pick. Whatever at this point it gets, but that
the
clears
salary
off
off the books.
Yes, $12.6 million. Joe Mixon, we cut him. We draft a running back or two. So we post June 1, cut him, and save $10 million more. There's another $22 million. How can we use that for our guys?
So you can either roll it over to get more cap space for the next year. And the Bengals used to do that a lot. They used to almost routinely, religiously save 10 to 12 to roll over for extensions. They haven't been
They were obsessed with it. And it never seemed like that got used, by the way. Me, personally.
Yeah, right now, it very well could. Because here's the deal. Like we talk about that. I'm just going to keep using Rowdy's example because I think it's a good example. 4 years, 95, 27 signing bonus. 27 signing bonus. Remember, that gets prorated, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an immediate cap hit. Even if his extension is 3 years from now, that is a cap hit almost immediately.
That's how they do a lot of their contracts, right?
Right. That's just how a lot of extensions are set up. That's why, Patrick Mahomes, if you look at the annual cash earned on his contract, it's really funny because, he's got his first round money, and then he's got year 4 and it spikes because he had like a $10 million signing bonus and 60 guaranteed. Yeah. And then year 5, it went down again. Yeah. And then year 6, it was small. And then year 7, it exploded. It kind of goes like a roller coaster. Well, that first big bump on the annual cash earned is from that signing bonus, right? Yeah. That signing bonus is prorated. So you have to have cap space for that. In T's case, you need to have about 7 or 8 mil in terms of that cap space. So if you roll 20, even if that extension doesn't necessarily come into effect for another year, you absorb the cap hit. Joe, if Joe's signing bonus, God forbid, is $70 million over 10 years, you need that $7 million in space. Logan Wilson, I have no clue what Logan's going to get because the linebacker market was all over the
It's
place.
so fluctuated.
That's why I don't think he gets signed this offseason, by the way.
Right. Let's say he gets 15 million signing bonus, just throwing a number out there.
He could get anywhere between 2 and 70 million.
Right.
$700 million and $3. Anywhere
Right.
right.
So you're probably going to need 10 to 12 for Joe. Even that's being a little bit liberal. You might really only need about 8. You'll probably need 5 to 6, 7, 8 for T. So if you create that cap space by rolling over unused space this year, you very well can use that. And keep in mind, that's also cash that you're not spending this year. It's not like the NFL hands you $20 every year for your cash. The cash comes from you. You have unlimited cash as much as your owner has. Right. So if you're not spending that money this year, you roll the space and you save the cash. It's almost like it's almost like a double hit. You save essentially 20 this year for 20 next year, and you roll the cap space over. You very well can use Joe and Jonah to absorb the cap hits of Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. It's just a matter of how they decide to do it.
So when you're talking about rolling over cap space,
yep,
like there's a limit to that, right? Because I thought you had to spend to at least a minimum amount in the NFL.
Right. You have to spend, I think, per year 85 or it's like 87%. Okay. Well, let's just call it 85 to make it even. 228.2 at 85%. They could roll over $35 million if they had to.
And because of that, that's why you see some teams like the Falcons overpaying for guys because they have nowhere else to spend the money. They have to spend at least to the minimum,
right,
to be like, I don't know what, in compliance or have a valid roster.
Yeah, kind of. And then that's why you'll see some teams overspend on guys because they don't necessarily have the roster yet. They don't have to worry about cap space yet. They're not paying a quarterback. They're not paying the defense. It's a new coach, what have you. They have the funds. So it serves two purposes. It eats up that allowance that you have to spend, but it shows other free agents that you're willing to spend. So it kind of draws some attention. So every year, Cleveland, there's like 2 or 3 teams that just throw a fuck ton of money at people and it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, especially the older vets that are just 1-2-year deals. It's just like
a perfect example is Jacksonville last year. They weren't paying Trevor Lawrence yet, and look at Christian Kirk. He's not a $20-25 million a year guy. He's just
18.
not. Whatever it ended up being. He's just not that. I mean, he's a little bit better than Tyler Boyd, who currently is getting ready to make about 10. Like, he's not double what Tyler Boyd's worth. He's just not.
Yeah. Hey, if you like Santori and you what he does do this show called Rally Round the Natty.
Rally Round the Natty. Oh, by the way, Chris, I text Sarah and I asked her, I told her that the boys wanted to know what your thoughts were on cash versus cap and the Joe Burrow contract. So we'll see what she said.
All right. Did you guys already go into the Burrow contract projections?
I mean, we talked about it. We just said like the 4-year thing versus
trying to hit the cliff notes.
We were hoping we'd rather see 10-year for the flexibility and stuff.
Right.
What I want to do,
kind of broke down even the 4-year. Like, there's ways to make that work.
There's pros to both.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I want to do, and I think I will become Crypt Keeper's best friend, is do a mock draft because you seem to do that when Joe and I aren't on. All I want to do is do a real.
I forgot you and Joe only had till 9:00 to be part of our show together. You have 1 day a week for 1 fucking hour, and we better get everything in that 1 fucking hour together.
Okay, can I interject really quick?
No.
Because Greg has put this in the comments twice now. I think I need to explain the comment 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I know I sent it in a text to y'all, But we were out at Wild Mike's the other night. It was me, Greg, Kieran, Pork Chop, and Pork Chop's brother Jared.
Oh yeah, and you had bok choy or something, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we were just talking about different dishes, like, what are you guys making for Easter or whatever. And Kieran said they were doing some kind of stew, and he started talking about this Irish stew, and it had this in it, onions, potatoes, everything, the works. And then he goes, it has leeks in it. And Greg goes, "Oh, a leek." And I was like, "Yeah, like leaks." He goes,
I'm with you, Greg. I don't know. Is my roof leaking? Like, I don't fucking know, Greg. I'm with you.
And Greg goes, "Only leak I know is like a toilet." And we were like, "No." I said,
like an onion, right?
I said like a green onion, like
Probably with a chance of meatballs.
Yeah,
and
and I
literally
said,
have leeks in there.
I said, it kind of looks like
Derek. You related to kids movies, for fuck's sake.
And I guess I went too far culturally here. I said it kind of looks like bok choy, and he goes, "Who's Buck Joy?" And everybody at the table just stopped. And
Buck Joy's probably the hottest woman of all fucking time.
So then I send the little group text to our group, and then Greg goes, "Well, why didn't you send it to Burock's bunch?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Burock's bunch, the other group chat, the one with Kieran in it." I said, "Greg, what are you trying to say?" I said, "Our Burrow bunch," because we spell it EAUX for the Creole spelling. I said, "Burock's."
Oh, we love you, Greg.
And then Kieran goes, "It's not a fucking Xerox machine. It's a Burrow." And, so we broke down the EAUX spelling. I said, it's Creole. It's Cajun. It's part of the French culture. Oh, and then he goes, "What does Burrow have to do with Croatia?" And I was like, "Okay, we need to stop."
Greg,
we need to stop.
I was with you for a part of that, Greg. And then you even lost me.
Greg.
And then he goes,
Damn it, Greg.
He goes, "I'm not a smart guy." And I was like, "Greg, it's not smart or dumb. It's exposure. You need to know what your vegetables are, buddy."
Mm-hmm.
Brooks. So,
Good day to the man Dalton.
The band of myth, the legend.
I'm not going to say that I'm that. But...
Come over here.
No.
They want to know what you think. How much do you think Burrow's going to get paid?
A lot.
She's right.
Yeah,
that's true.
How much would you pay him?
How much would you pay him?
Boyfriend could have my entire life savings. Okay.
Oh, we don't have.
I'm not sure that'll cover it, Sarah.
I mean, I don't know your situation.
Say hi real quick. Here, hop on my lap.
No.
Yeah, look at him. Hop on my lap.
About to turn into After Dark.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah. Are you going to hop on his lap?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good for you, Derek.
Did you hear him?
Is he all healed
Derek,
up?
You
We heard him.
Like,
Derek.
Well, maybe he's not all. Maybe he's. Well, wait till you can hear me. Maybe he's not all healed up yet.
Yeah, you may just pop the balloon or something.
Don't let him fool you.
I heard you guys have been fucking like jackrabbits since you got the surgery.
Derek Davis.
What'd I do?
Take your shots until he can't hear it.
He didn't tell me that. You just told on yourself,
You're gonna
Sarah.
break him.
I can't.
Oh man!
I said
I'm
I
done
heard
with
you guys
you.
have been fucking like jackrabbits since the surgery, and that's when she got mad at you.
Absolutely.
And I said he didn't tell me that. You just told on yourself.
He's real funny. I can't hear, but he's real funny.
Uh-huh.
Be right back. I need a refill.
Sarah, you drinking that Keystone?
Oh, who left?
He said, "Are you drinking a Keystone?"
Unfortunately.
Gotta save money somehow.
Where's my sugar daddy Dale to help me out with this? Like,
Yeah.
Damn.
He's got
help
that Miller
me.
Lite.
You
Yeah.
got the good stuff.
That's when you know Derek is a fucking penny pitcher over there. When it's like Miller
I
Lite's the good
cannot
stuff.
hear you. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
Dale, you'd have been so proud. I bought
He
a
makes me
case.
drink Keystone.
I
And
bought
then
a
I
case
drink-
of Miller Lite
You drink
pints.
friggin'
It's fucked up,
30,
Sarah.
45, $50 bourbon.
You deserve better, Queen.
Did you hear him?
But no,
He said you deserve better, Queen.
I do. You're right.
Agree.
Dale, did you hear what I said?
He's right though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta
Yeah. Yeah, Rowdy's also right.
go.
Yeah.
I would buy you a Four Loko.
The Rowdy said he would buy you a Four Loco.
Okay. I'm in. We besties.
Oh man.
I almost spit on here.
No.
Listen, anybody who wants to buy me drinks or send money to my drink fund, I'm in.
There you go.
All right.
She just had limited options, pork chop.
What'd you say? She was fishing in a puddle.
Fishing in a puddle?
That's
Yeah.
what you said one night.
Did I say that?
Mhm.
I don't think Joe would pick that up.
No.
Does that sound like something I would say?
In all honesty, that sounded too funny for me to say. That's why I was like,
I think that was one of your bourbon-induced nights.
I was
on
going to
here.
say, that was Mario Vasquez.
oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mario Vasquez said that, Derek. Not you.
Oh man. Well, you guys want to do a mock draft?
No.
Sure.
Sure.
Sarah
Not a
said
31 team mock draft, Sarah.
no. Sarah,
Don't worry.
you trying to get that dick?
He wants to know if you're trying to get that dick.
Listen,
That's
on
a
the
yes.
question they asked, I would pay Burrow whatever he wanted to keep him there because they let go of some really high dollar people. Like some people that they actually would pay money to. They let go of those people and they probably got lower paid people in those places. So they should pay Burrow whatever he wants.
Just give him a blank check.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell us how you want it structured.
The team.
Do you know what?
What's that have to do if she wants to fuck?
I don't know.
Sarah, you trying
She's
to
still
fuck or
stuck on the
not?
Burrow contract.
Give him the reins.
Oh, she's ready to fuck. How many keystones she had? 3?
How many keystones you had? She can drink me under the table when it comes
I
to
can bring
beers.
him under the table. I've had enough to be.
That's what I'm saying. She's had enough. She's had enough to do the deed.
I'm in my
That's
sweet
what
spot
I'm
right
saying.
now.
We gotta hurry up because she's got there's a very small
Yeah.
window of
She don't fall
opportunity.
asleep for long.
What's small?
I'm in my sweet spot.
Well, there's 2 things that's small, but
We got Emmanuel Forbes. We got Brian Branch. We've got
Bijan. Buffalo sniped us with Bijan.
Darnell Wright, Jameer Gibbs, who Joe likes. Kincaid,
Good Bear loves.
tight end.
a lot of people like Kincaid.
Mozzie,
Who was it?
Cyrus Torrance.
I'm not on Kincaid.
Whoever
personally.
Dan Horde just had on his show has Dalton Kincaid as his number 1 tight end.
I mean, that's fine.
So-
like, if you want a guy that's like a pass catcher, he's the best,
Yeah.
receiving tight end.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, just the age and
Back.
injury concerns.
Yeah,
it's
the
just
back.
like I'm out on him personally. I
Yeah.
wouldn't like be upset if we drafted him though.
Damn. Sarah done left there and already is trying to get dick from
She's
someone
already
else.
moving on.
Yeah, damn, Derek, you fucked up. She was like, fuck this. Crip said, I got a beach in the backyard, and she said, where you live.
Chris about to say Carolina. She's gonna be taking that truck straight down to Carolina.
Like I'm just
Derek,
going out for
you
some
lo-
milk, baby. I'll be right
Derek,
back.
You lost your wife like that. Like
Man.
that.
It happens every day, man.
That was quick. That was quicker than you can come.
Ain't
All
that
right.
the truth?
All right. So on this list,
All right, Dalton
All right.
Kincaid, Osiris Torrance,
Okay.
Emmanuel Forbes, Jameer Gibbs. I don't see any reason to go past there.
Darnell Wright, yeah.
Sorry.
Real quick question though. Do you see Will Levis dropping this far?
I mean, I don't think he's like a premier quarterback personally. Like,
I do
but
not
I
have
think
a
he
grade on
goes.
him. I
Well-
I have a 3rd round grade on him personally.
Yeah.
I have a
Um,
second round grade on him.
Yeah, but it's quarterback.
That's generous.
but it's-
Quarterback.
But it's a quarterback, and someone's gonna say I need it.
I could see after like Richardson goes, if teams want to gamble and be like, hey, he's probably gonna sit there.
So here's an odd thing that might hurt him.
Hey,
is
Chris, next
his
vacation
attitude.
is going to be in Myrtle Beach. We're coming to your place.
Derek, you're not going. Sarah is. Fucking
And no,
They're not
I'm going to
invited.
enjoy the beach while
Let's
they
enjoy
do
it.
whatever they want.
Sarah's on kayak right now, booking a plane ticket.
I'm going to enjoy the life.
What were you saying, Santori?
The thing with Will Levis that might cause him to fall a little bit. I think he's kind of a cocky asshole.
Oh yeah, he takes as many.
naked selfies and shit.
We compare him to our friend Jeff when he's on vacation. Jeff
Okay.
Trinidad. The fucking
But no,
selfie kings of the world.
and Dale knows this, but I've been pretty removed from the draft process this year. I've gotten to the point where I've watched most of these guys.
Right, you've
But
got into a little bit. But
I watched a little bit on Will Levis, and I saw a special on him the other day. That maybe it was like Path to the Draft or whatever was on.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked straight at the camera and he said, "I have a cannon. I'm here to show it off." And I was like, "Bro, go fuck
No.
yourself."
That's got like
Yeah.
Josh Rosen vibes.
Yeah, I was like, "Dude, that's the shit that like if I'm a GM, I'm gonna be like, look, you are a leader. You are supposed to be a captain, not a fucking asshole. Like, we know you have a
damn! All right, I gotta say that one for the podcast. Hey, hold on. For the podcast listeners, Chris, aka Pork Chop, just said Derek gonna enjoy the life in Myrtle Beach, like Crip enjoys the wife. Damn!
I have some leftover wild mics here.
Oh man, but hey, yeah, Darnell Wright. I don't think we need to waste too much time. What do you guys think about Osiris Torrance? Somebody said, as far as interior O line, like they could see him going round one.
He's 6'5", like he has the body of a tackle.
So
But
who's the one guy from the Pick Six podcast that shows up every now and then? Or he works for CBS.
Bro, you're killing me with these.
God. But he said he could see Osiris Torrance playing tackle in the NFL, right tackle.
Yeah, I don't see it. I think he's
presumably.
guard. He's played guard in college. He's going to stay a guard. He's just a big son.
Just because of the build. Yeah.
I'll go right. Whatever. It's kind of boring
Yeah.
because we did it earlier, but I don't know. I'm surprised why he's falling. Like,
I knew I wasn't even gonna try to sell you on Gibbs, but
I know. Well, I just can't.
yeah, I mean, real quick, the only argument against Wright is I'm assuming we can keep Jonah for this year, force him in at right tackle. I think he's going to play, and he'll be fine. And we really force ourselves into a need next offseason at right tackle, whether that be in free agency or in the draft class, which hopefully is better. I don't know if it will be, but it's just like, I don't want us to just force right tackle to force right tackle. That's my only argument against.
And
I get it.
Pete Prisco was the guy I was talking about, Dale.
Oh yeah, I like Briscoe.
I do too.
I have a little concern with Darnell Wright. And this is one of those things that if the tape says it's not a problem, it's not a problem. But he does have a little bit, and I stress this a little bit, of short arm syndrome. He is just a tick below average for offensive tackle.
Are you saying he's Jonah 2.0?
I'm not saying he's Jonah, but he's built very similar to Jonah. I think he's one of those guys that's going to be a average to slightly above average right tackle, but I think he would be a dominant guard. I think he profiles better as a guard, but I think he would get it done at tackle, if that makes sense.
His arm length is in the 39th percentile.
Mm-hmm. Not great.
Nope.
I like Sam Laporta here, personally. I think he...
I love how this fell with Laporta and Julius Brents as like two of the three there.
Yeah, is there
Simpson,
any other?
I know Matt Lawless is in here. That's his second guy, like his second round guy. But I'm like, we just don't need a linebacker. If we did, I'd be all over his trades and his athletic ability.
I love Derek Hall. I know that's not necessarily a need, but
like
my
that.
God, I would be incredibly tempted. I've got him as one of I haven't made a big board yet, but he's top 30 on my big board for sure if I made one. I think he's going to be a phenomenal pass rusher.
A lot of people are very high on him. I get it too. I'm trying to match up the needs still on the mocks, but if they took Derek Hall here, you would not hear me complain.
I see. It's one of those things where, like we talked about with layering contracts, if Hubbard and Hendrickson are both going to be up in the next couple of years, and you're grooming Osai, he's the next one, in my opinion. So that you would have two affordable defensive ends that I think would really rest the passer. Now, at this point, I'm trying to project fixing a problem we don't necessarily have yet.
But I think that's part of how some good teams really draft is they start
they do.
layering.
That's
Yeah,
just
you
best
just
player,
pick-
and we'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
Mhm.
Exactly.
My
But-
thoughts on Laporta is I see him as kind of a like a George Kittle light, like not obviously not as good as George Kittle, but
He can't block near as well as Kittle.
right. But just the pass catching ability that he has, I could see him coming in and learning and that's the thing with tight ends is a lot of them come in and if they're a lot of the great ones are good ones. They come in and the things that they need to work on are their blocking capabilities. And I could see Laporta just coming in year one getting as if he comes in and they play him as tight end one, I could see him getting 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, and then basically splitting in half the with Irv Smith.
Yeah, my only
Split you
argument,
in half.
my only argument against tight end early is we don't heavily feature the tight end in our offense right now, and that could be just strictly because we don't have the personnel for it. Maybe if we had a guy like Laporta, we would adjust. So it's like, all right, if we take Laporta, we better have a plan to evolve the offense. If he's just coming
No, I
in
can see
to
that.
plug and play the Hayden Hurst role, I don't know that anyone's really worth a first or second rounder because I just
see
don't
that.
know that he's going to get the usage.
Well, I just
I
know
have-
all the love for first round corners, and we're sitting here with Julius Brents, who's 6'3".
Let's go
205.
with Brent because
I like Brent's a lot.
We
Yeah,
haven't even
That
talked
would be
about-
my vote.
He's one I have not looked at. So
I like Julius Brent too.
I hope without the murders.
I
saw that.
I was just like, in what way?
yeah. On the field. On the
No,
field.
like I do. I think
Yeah.
Laporta's going to be a very solid tight end,
Yeah.
especially
just-
like if you don't ask him to like block all the time. But he's a willing blocker. He just hasn't been great at it, which that does concern me a little bit because you played at Iowa.
Yeah.
Like,
Laporta just reminds
had
me too
pieces
much
of
of
that.
my Dawson Knox love, and like he's been good, but maybe he just hasn't been as good as I thought he was. So that could potentially hurt us.
I'm
The
gonna
only
get
thing-
Santori's opinion out of those two for this. If he's done eating his fucking whatever the fuck he's eating, his Wild Mike leftovers. Sam Laporta and Julius Brents. I know you said Hall, and I wouldn't be opposed to Hall, but I think I want to stick to positional needs here.
if it's between those two, I have zero argument against Sam Laporta.
Okay.
I do have my looks like I have my starting outside corner for the next 5 to 10 years. I know you
Yeah.
need another one. But I also trust Lou to take someone average that's not going to cost me a whole lot and turn them into something decent.
Or to find another free agent on the
Okay.
market, like we have Apple and we have, Sidney Jones coming in this year. Maybe Sidney Jones sticks for a couple of years.
I think
If
this
they-
team has had a harder time with finding really good tight ends than they have corners. So I'd be more tempted to take the tight end.
Hey,
And-
Crip, no biggie, bro. No biggie. I will. I was going to say my thoughts on picks 1 and 2 are what players help us win the Super Bowl this year. And if you were to pick Julius Brents, like he becomes corner 2, so that would mean one of those 3 between Cheeto and
CTB.
I don't know, like who would play slot corner because
Hilton.
you would want
Hilton.
them. Okay, so what would Julius Brents be? Would he be?
That's what I'm
corner?
saying. He would only be if like Sidney Jones or Awuzie is not healthy and Sidney Jones isn't working out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
Julius Brents is more the long-term play.
yeah.
Laporta this year, to me, I'm taking Laporta.
Yep.
Put him on the board.
I'm sold.
Put it on the board. Sidney Brown, there's my boy. Oh, and he's gone. Sidney Brown doesn't make it to round 3 anymore, does he?
Sometimes.
I have a first round grade on him.
Derek,
I love-
did you hear that?
I love Sidney
Oh,
Brown.
Derek
Did we
got
just become
hard.
best
Right.
friends?
I think you guys did.
Yep.
He's up there on me.
Oh, you made me inhale my cigar when you said that.
I love sitting down.
All right, we got Andre Carter here. Tyler Scott from Cincinnati for speed.
Or Tajay Spears.
That's my
Yes.
name too.
Can we look at a D line?
Yeah, let's just look all around. So there's the
Mhm.
receivers, interior line, not loving what's there at that point. Linebackers.
How the hell do
yeah,
you
we
say
know.
that guy's name?
Corner, see, Jalen. I'm a big Jalen Jones
Jalen
fan.
Jones.
I like
He's
that.
6'2". Like,
They love big corners too, and they cannot lie.
but I mean, Spears here is. But we've taken 2 offensive players already.
Mhm.
Keep that in mind for what. The
Yeah,
Bengals-
but remember last year what they went rounds 1 through 3 with defense.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like,
Wait,
Yeah.
let's
So-
go back to interior O line. What was that at the top?
Jarrett Patterson.
Oh,
he's
Jarrett, yeah.
center.
Yeah,
So I really, this is kind of a wild card, but it also falls within Derek's theory of how much does he help me this year. I like Rashee Rice out of SMU.
Ooh, yeah.
I think that kid's electric.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
I like Rashee Rice.
but how much does he help us this year?
He doesn't.
Yeah. What would he be? Because
Uh,
something I just learned today. Did you guys know that Trent Taylor was 3rd in punt return yards
I know.
out of the NFL this year?
He was also probably first
No.
in almost fumbles. I don't know how many
Fumbles
times
that
he
Almost
Almost.
fumbles.
I don't know
They,
how many
they were
times
fumbled.
he-
They just weren't recovered by the end of the
Yeah.
I
game.
don't.
But no,
I just-
Rashee Rice has not been a return guy.
Okay.
No.
I don't know how many times Trent Taylor hit the deck and the ball just.
Oh yeah, and it always
Dude.
seemed to pop out of bounds.
I don't know about you guys. Like, I do think Rashee Rice probably goes before pick 92. Because I think he's capable of being a wide receiver 2 in the NFL for a long time. Like, I
Yeah.
really do.
And that,
But
Have slot.
that's our future potential if
Who?
he has to walk. That's not
But-
bad.
But I'm looking at Tajay Spears here, and I'm going,
How
damn, he's good at everything.
Mhm.
how big is
Damn, that
Ty?
girl is fine.
How big is Tajay Spears?
5'9", I think.
5'9" or 5'10". I could.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up.
What's he weigh?
He's
205,
actually
I
decently
think.
thick. Yeah, that's why. But
I'm
Andre
listed at
Carter,
5'10",
like, I don't want to
201.
just shit on the
Okay.
guy at the top of the board here, Andre Carter from Army. He didn't have a great Senior Bowl and stuff like that, but at one point he was talked about as a first-round pick.
Mhm.
Like traits, work ethic, stuff like that. You bet on the kid, but he needs to put on weight. He needs coached up. And
We need
Marion
that-
Hobby,
yeah.
Marion Hobby is our D-line coach.
And a guy like that could benefit a lot from the NFL regimen of like weight room and all that stuff. So
I don't know enough about him to comment.
I was gonna say,
But, I mean,
is he a
I
pure
don't know
edge
about-
rusher, or is he a guy that could kick in inside?
He's edge. He's
Okay.
edge.
is
Is
he
he
a
a-
linebacker edge or is he?
Is he stand up or 3-point? Like what's? I have a lot of questions there.
Got all
We don't
the
know
questions.
anything about this guy.
Yeah.
Go Army. That's all I know.
Hold on.
He's
You're
probably
making
got the
me
heart of a
fucking-
lion. That's
I'm trying to bring
about
him
all I
up.
could really count on.
Oh no! Where can I not
Uh-oh.
find him? Oh, I know. We're killing airtime by
Yep.
saying the thing.
I hear.
What is
I,
the
I,
Army-
I'm reading
what
off
is
NFL Draft Buzz, where the player
There we
comp
go.
they have is Jason Taylor. They say he's a credible athlete, massive wingspan, elite agility, change of direction with speed to match tight ends and coverage. Only thing holding him back round selection is his commitment to the U.S. military.
No, which they
too
came
off,
out and
man.
changed that. No, but they come
Oh,
out
they
and
did?
changed that rule. Yeah, so whenever that was written, it's different. But he's 6'7", like 252. So thin for the height, right?
Mhm. Yeah. So he
But,
probably has enough frame to put on some.
Fast, aggressive tackler, quick hands, high IQ, thin frame and core strength as Knox. Obviously, just like fuck. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to look at his fucking.
He sounds
Size
like Michael
and-
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like that would be like his best case scenario,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which Michael Johnson's really fucking good and went in the third round. So
Do you
that's
expect
who
it-
he is.
The
But-
D line. I forget who
Yeah,
was there. There's
I
no
don't-
one really jumping off the
I
board
don't.
for me.
Yeah,
Mm,
I
Okay.
don't love any of them.
We're not there yet.
yeah.
And then
Can you look
corner.
at corner again?
Jalen Jones, I'm
Yeah.
very high on, but
Yeah. Jalen Jones. I mean, I like Garrett Williams.
What about
I
that
don't
guy
know.
from UK? Is this too early to
I think that's too
I'm
early.
seeing a lot of people have him in like the 5th and 6th round.
Valentine.
yeah,
Is that what you're talking
Valentine,
about?
Okay.
Valentine's a little like,
Valentine? Yeah.
He'll be way down there.
Tajay Spears to me, like fuck. I think we got a stud at running back.
What?
I just want Valentine for the February 14th gift that the Bengals
So-
do.
I hear you on Spears, Dale, but look at all the running backs because I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of guys
You're
we'd
right.
be pretty happy
There
with.
there are a bunch of them.
The only thing I have against Spears is he does not
Roshan
fit
Johnson, Tank Bigsby
Tucker,
he doesn't fit the
Gray.
Bengals MO. Chase Brown
Chase
fits
Brown.
the Bengals MO.
to a T. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my only knock against Spears.
It's not
I
saying
like
you
Jalen
can't
Jones
draft-
here.
Why don't we just take Carter?
Carter or
Let's go with
Jones
him.
would be my
I'm okay
vote.
with Carter. We haven't taken him yet, have we?
No.
In any of the 330 mock drafts that you guys have
I
done,
just-
don't
I
think
would
you've
have
taken him.
been fine with Jalen Jones there.
I just
Well,
don't think Carter fits, but I mean,
Matt,
talent's talent. You
We
find a
just
way to make
finished round
talent work.
3.
Yeah.
Well, probably because like Jesus, this mock is going on forever, so we can't agree on anything. Okay.
Yeah.
What makes it
That's
fun?
because, hey, you got different people on this
Matt.
timeline, you know?
Matt Silva, these
These nuts.
who?
Sorry.
I was
These
trying.
robot
I was gonna say. I mean, he was really committed to it. So
Yeah,
I was just
no,
gonna
I got
let
you.
him
I
have
Dude,
it.
my boss got me on that today. I was so mad.
People are still getting got on these nuts jokes.
I got on these nuts. I got on
Okay.
this motherfucker.
I would
today.
be.
I'm not even. I don't even give a fuck at this point. I would just tell you,
Yeah.
fuck off. You don't want Roshan at this point.
I was about to say the same thing. I would want Roshan here.
I haven't watched him yet, but y'all seem very excited, so I will take your
Yeah.
word for it.
Size, speed, everything, man. Blocker, one of the better blockers in
Plus-
the class.
Plus, he is on a team where he split snaps, which the Bengals tend to love. Players coming into the draft that split snaps in college.
I will say this. I don't know anything about Tank Bigsby. I don't. But Auburn has a tendency to produce very, very
Yeah.
good
A
running
buddy of mine
backs.
is an Auburn fan, and he was talking him up the other day.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
There's
I
something about
love-
Roshan that
Well, Texas has a long history of it too. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Certain schools produce certain positions. They just do. And Auburn is Auburn's a running back factory, man. Them in Oklahoma,
Yep.
which is another reason I haven't really watched him, but Eric
All right.
Day went to Oklahoma, so I'd be okay
Chat.
with it.
Chat. Roshan Johnson or Tank Bigsby here?
Well, hold on. Let's look at some other positions too.
Joe,
Well-
stop being thorough.
I'm trying to look at quarter.
We haven't taken a quarterback yet.
Yeah. We need Brandon Allen's replacement.
Oh, that's another thing. Nothing came of.
what do you guys want to look at?
Corner.
You wanna look at? Yeah. Oh, I hate that. For like,
Yuck.
Yeah.
I like
I mean,
I like
Bennett-
Riley. I think Moss and Bennett should be rated higher. So
those are the
like-
best two on that list.
But
personally.
that's what sucks about this is they should be rated. But I mean, this is where this is the consensus board.
What about
so.
offensive
I
interior
know-
line?
I like taking a flyer on McClendon.
I do like McClendon, and I'll tell you the one guy I love.
But we
is
got
Cameron
right,
Latt,
so
too.
I feel
know, I
better
know.
about.
Double dip. What's the worst thing that happens? You have a scenario like Volson who comes in and takes the job.
Not well because you can only play so many offensive linemen. And
They
Well,
keep 10.
We got a lot to cut, in my opinion.
man, Jaden Reed right there, boys. I'm telling you, when we're talking about wide receivers that could be slot guys and returners,
Mhm.
Jaden Reed is at the top of that fucking board for
I-
me.
Yeah, I like Reed. I like Palmer. I like Washington off that list.
I will vehemently disagree about
If-
Reed. I do not
if-
like him at all.
Why?
If-
I just don't like him. There's nothing about him that pops off to me. I've watched him a couple times. I've even made the cardinal sin of trying to like him while watch him, and I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like spectacular at one thing. He's good at everything. I'm sorry, in the 4th round, what more do you want?
Yeah.
I'd love to be wrong. Don't get me wrong.
I know.
I just don't see it with him. I know the
That's
Bengals
fair.
like him because they've already met with him. You know, I trust their judgment more than mine. But
one question I had for you guys is when you're talking about returners, Travion kind of solidified that role last year, but if he has an increased role in the running back room, could you see him potentially moving away from the returner job?
I do. And I know they've said this isn't the case, so maybe it's just a very, very significant correlation. But every time whoever Zach puts back there to return kicks or Darren puts back there to return kicks, whatever combination it is, whatever role they had got eradicated from the team. And they just don't want that guy getting hurt. And that's fair. But I think, man, this is going to sound dumb. I think kick returner is the least valuable position in the NFL anymore.
No, that doesn't sound dumb. I mean, they're trying to eliminate the kickoffs, basically. There's not a lot of kickoff returns anymore. They're all touchbacks.
Half of
now, if we're still talking Henry, I want to get to Rowdy here about Henry. Yeah, he would have been in that conversation with Andre. I like KJ Henry a lot. He had the better year than Miles Murphy, who's probably going in the 1st round. He had the better year of the 2 guys, which I don't have to tell you that, fucking Rowdy. You're our Clemson guy.
Yeah,
but
I want to see Rowdy's credit card statement with all these $2 charges on it. I really appreciate it. But it's $2.
Hey, and
listen,
quick.
Listen,
I'm not going to shit on it.
Rowdy and Foxy.
I'm not going to shit on it, but I bet it's a bunch of $2 charges.
But I do want to say something real quick. Keith, you still haven't sent me your address yet because I got to send you that koozie, man. So go ahead and before you forget again, send me that.
Well, you don't have to put it on here, but
no,
Twitter or Facebook or something.
Yep.
I really like Roshan here. I mean, he's showing.
Yeah, I'm going with Roshan. You guys took a long time to say.
Size. Yeah, let's go.
Just going with Roshan.
Took a long time to say nothing, didn't we?
I was on Roshan the whole time. Man.
I'll have to watch him.
Oh, Voorhees.
And Tucker's still there. I do like Tucker.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Tucker would have been good. We don't have a D tackle, right? We got Carter. I like Colby Wooden as a 3 tech.
Yeah, corner and D tackle are the two.
I have not watched any D line. I'll make that blanket statement now. I haven't watched a single D lineman. I love Riley Moss. I don't know if it's too early for him or not.
On here it is, but I don't think in real life it is. I think he's a 3rd, 4th round guy.
Parker Washington. I like Parker Washington.
Yeah, I took him earlier, Derek. He fell the 6th round. I said, shit, I'm going to take him in the 6th round. That's crazy.
If you want to go away from what the Bengals do and you want to go the old Steelers route and just have a guy that runs verts, the kid from WVU is your guy.
Oh, yeah, they said if he had hands, he'd be a great. They said if he had hands, he'd be a good receiver.
I was going to say that's
who was the Ohio State receiver a long time ago that was like nothing but verticals, and if he just had
Devin Smith.
He had stone hands. Was it Devin Smith?
Well, Devin didn't really have stone hands at Ohio State per se, but
no,
when you NFL.
But when he went into the NFL,
but when you can catch everything in college like a punt because you blew past everybody,
right? It's different. Those guys
didn't he also get like a nasty lung injury too?
Like, he had some kind of injury.
He had something nasty happen to him.
I don't want to take forever on this. I think Colby Wooden is a fucking home run right there.
They could use the depth.
What was that corner?
Nothing.
You said Riley Moss.
Nothing for right now.
Riley Moss and all right. I'm good with that.
Like I'll get corner still here in a minute.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe Bennett or someone would fall.
Okay, give me Parker Washington here.
I think he's.
I mean, he might still be there, but this could be a time for a corner. I don't know. We'll see.
No.
Baby.
Yeah,
is really.
Now this is the time I bet Valentine will be there.
Riley Moss.
Riley Moss is still there.
A 174.
McClellan. Abaconda's still there? Fuck.
Yeah, there's Parker Washington too. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yep.
I'll be surprised if some of those guys are there, but hey,
Ivan Pace fell? Jesus. I was thinking he would be like a fourth or fifth round guy.
yeah. Even Airbig, like Airbig is
Yeah.
more of a pass rusher than he is a linebacker, but
Brr.
to me,
What?
he's a top 3 or 4 round pass rusher. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched or read a lot about Riley Moss, but the little I did, I wasn't super impressed. Like I just remember nothing jumping off the page. Why do you guys like him so much?
He tested like a freak, and
Yeah,
for corner,
tested
that's
like-
enough.
tested like a
Yeah.
freak, and he was very solid for Iowa.
Was it-
Iowa produces good, solid corners typically.
My thing
So-
is, every year there are a handful of corners that test like a freak that come out of nowhere, and they typically do well in the league.
Well, and we don't have one right now in this draft.
Wasn't
know,
it
that-
Riley
that's what
Moss too
concerns
at the combine that like his mirroring footwork wise was like
I think so.
impeccable.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have him rated way higher. I have him as
That's
a
one of
third
those
round guy.
buy. That's one of those buy
He's
low,
on the
high
board.
ceiling
Put him
guys.
on
at
the
this
board.
point.
Yeah.
Put him on the board. Look at all
Put
these
him on the
A's.
board.
We should be in the war room. This is easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, come on,
No,
dude.
not yeah. It's Yasser Abdullah, another Louisville
Oh,
guy.
never mind.
This guy's more of a linebacker, but man, I love him. And honestly, his family has interacted with me on Twitter when people have said, because at first I was like, they're like, why you have him as a 5th, 6th round guy? I'm like, I mean, that's kind of where he's projected to go. That's kind of where I have him. Then he tore up the combine, and I was like, if he's a pass rusher, he's undersized, but I think he can play linebacker, but I don't know that we need a linebacker. But special teams, I don't know.
If
How
we've
what was
addressed,
his speed wise, like for gunner or something like that?
Oh, he's not a gunner, but Jesus, he basically rushed the passer, Derek, at Louisville. He's a DM.
Oh, okay.
if
But
we've
he ran
addressed,
like a 4.4. So
If
Can
if
we
we've
look at
addressed a lot
receiver?
of the positions that need, like 6th and 7th round is where I look for like wide receiver and interior.
yeah, and I'm
line.
not loving the wide receivers there.
Either am I.
No. What about another running back?
How is Braden Daniels fucking ranked at 203?
Yeah.
Running
I
back.
I mean,
have
like
him as a
interior
third,
line
fourth
depth,
round
like I think
guy.
is really appealing. Late round, just take a flyer and add another guy to the room to compete in camp.
No
Like-
whammies, Crip says.
He tested elite. I don't understand why
Yeah.
Braden Daniels is like that far
This-
down.
That Tulsa
Can I
Running
ask
back.
you guys
Running
something?
back.
This year, is this one of those years that I'm just like, are you guys with me? Where I have no
Nope.
clue where all of these guys can go, and I'll be like, I've been waiting so long because what is it? 20 days we
That's
got.
fun.
Yeah, it's. I kind of have the same feeling, but I think this is kind of the byproduct of we've been drafting well, and you
Mhm.
pick so late. It's so hard to predict.
Yeah, it's hard to predict.
Yeah.
I would
And-
take
and
any of
there's
these
not-
3.
There's not
Braden
many.
Daniels, Moffett,
I like Daniels.
McFadden.
Right. In
Like-
Derek, there's not just many glaring holes. Like, in the
Yeah.
Marvin Lewis era, it was like, fuck, we got to have a corner. Oh, we got to
Yeah.
have a center. Now it's like, well, we can get away with maybe waiting
Like,
at right tackle.
We'll need a quarter eventually.
Right. Like, that's kind of where they're at. So you have so much freedom. And that's where the whole BPA theory comes in.
I have
You've done
a
it
feeling
right.
I want Braden Daniels here.
Okay.
Go for it.
I have a feeling if I would take Yasser Abdullah, it would get me an A, and I have a feeling this is going to get a B plus.
Before you click that, real
Going to
quick,
run her.
can
gonna
I
run
ask
it,
you guys
man.
one question?
I gotta
Of the
take
guys
him.
that are left, who are the guys that you're calling before the end of the draft to say,
Punter,
hey,
baby, my
say,
punter,
hey.
my 6'4", 220
Can I-
punter.
Can I see the all list really quick?
yeah, guys that you can see saying, hey, we would love for you to come
Warsack
in
is
as
right
a
here as a
UFA.
punter,
So I'm definitely calling Abdullah if he doesn't get picked. Any of
Oh,
those
my
punters.
punter's gone. Remember the punter I love?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's gone.
Can we look at the all list again? I just want to scroll through it really quick.
I know, but my punter's gone. They drafted my punter. I started
Scroll
talking
down
about
for
my punter
Santori.
from Wingate, and now he's gone.
I know.
Oh, man.
It's bullshit.
Any of those punters, Abdullah for sure. I don't know enough about Muhammad there or
I don't know
Daniel
these
Scott.
guys.
Can we scroll a little bit?
So I said I like Braden Daniels.
What about like quarterback,
You want to back up
like
quarterback?
Max Dugan?
Stetson.
I've already had a
Like
redhead
Bennett.
from TCU. No thanks.
How was she?
Boom.
Honestly, from what I've seen, not really. I might call Dugan, but that's I don't know. Maybe the kid from Houston. They tend to put out fun DBs. He's probably like a running back and kick returner
Wow.
too, like Brandon Wilson.
Abdullah probably gets me the A, but Braden Daniels, I have his third, fourth round pick as an offensive lineman. Like, where's
What's the knock on him?
I don't fucking know, Joe.
His
I don't
parents named
understand
him
it.
Braden.
Hey, my nephew's named Braden. You fucking asshole.
Yeah.
He's my favorite nephew.
I'm
What a fucking
pulling
dick.
him up.
It's all right.
Braden
Oh.
Daniels.
So you're calling Max over
6'4",
Stetson?
294.
I don't like Stetson's fucking attitude, man.
I don't like his age.
He's a
Yeah,
true
well,
senior.
He's fucking 75 years old.
6'4", 297. So do you say undersized? Maybe. 9.65 RAS score.
Is this Daniels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
footwork, athletically gifted, good on the second level, effective puller. Cons too high in sets, not physically imposing, but underpowered.
He's a better
It
he's a better
doesn't
pass
sound like
blocker
a
than a
Frank
run
Pollock
blocker.
guy.
And then real quick,
Could
look at
potentially play center even.
receiver and tell me what guys you think the Bengals would
No,
possibly
Jalen
do.
Cropper's up. Like there's nothing at.
for
Receiver.
for undrafted free
Can
agents.
we clip this when Jalen Cropper becomes like a Hall of Fame receiver?
Mm.
There's nothing there. At this point, this sounds.
I
weird.
actually like Elijah.
I was
Elijah
just gonna
Higgins,
mention
yeah.
Higgins.
So at this point, this is so dumb. I like looking at names and seeing if any name streaks out to me for Freakonomics standpoint.
I'm glad you're not in the war room, Santori.
Oh no! Once I get to the
You're
seventh round,
losing
I'm
all
like,
your
"The
credibility you built up. At
Well,
the
once I get to the seventh
you were
round-
doing so good.
He's
this
got a
week.
cool name.
names."
Hello, Tommy.
How we
DeVito.
said an hour.
That sounds fun.
The kid
DJ
from-
Dale, because why not? Wiki.
Yeah,
no,
Dale needs that.
There actually is a receiver on that list I saw that I liked. The kid from Clemson. He was skyrocketing up the talent board for a long time, and I
Gonna
guess
get
he got
Rowdy
hurt or
excited.
something. Right there. No,
Nagata?
I'd give him a call.
Is that
Rowdy,
like
what do you
Nat?
think about Nagata?
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
get-
gonna still go back to. So you guys want Braden Daniels or do you want Yasir Abdullah?
I like
Yes,
Brady.
sir.
I
Yes,
said
sir.
Daniels.
Break the tie, Joe.
Daniels.
I'm gonna start
Damn
saying
it, Joe. We're gonna get a B because of that.
Is the
probably.
linebacker from Cincinnati there?
Hey, we got
A
A!
plus, motherfucker.
Look at it.
That's
Look
about
at
a
it.
perfect fucking draft if I
A
Keep it
plus
with
is
it.
across the. Oh, Andre Carter, we didn't get.
No,
That's
we
the
didn't get all
process.
A. No, but we got all A's though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean all A pluses and one A.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
what you got on us
the
now,
point. Yeah,
PFF?
we did it, Crip.
We're gonna be beefing with PFF now because I went at him.
PFF cutter.
Anything is possible.
Fuck you, Collinsworth.
You little bitch.
Hope you
Oh,
didn't
no.
plan on having
I
Chris.
think that's a really,
Collinsworth
I
on
think
the
that's a
show.
really good
We
draft
hope to
class.
have
Like,
Chris
I'd
on
be
at
excited
some
about
Yeah,
that.
he was
There's a lot
supposed to
of
be our
guys to look
guest
at.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
but,
next
well,
week
that was
actually.
canceled.
Yeah.
Collinsworth cutter.
Oh man.
That would be a really cool draft
anybody-
class. That'd be fun
Tyree
to break
Wilson
down
went
with
number
all these
one.
guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Is
that
it-
was
anybody
another thing
like
I was
this
going to ask
class?
you
I think
guys.
it's good. I think it's good. I
great.
think it's a good draft. I'd fuck with it.
I mean, yeah, Riley Moss in the 6 would be crazy.
Mhm.
Pork Chop's giving us a round of applause, so that's
At
Pork
some
chop.
point, the guys were talking about on the draft dudes about the like your non-chalk picks and what teams do you think would go non-chalk and stuff like that? Because
The fuck does
everything
that
it seems
mean?
like everything
I
it
don't know
seems
what
like
this
okay,
motherfucker's
you got
talking about.
quarterbacks 1, 2, 3 are going left, right, and center, and then
what are chalk? What's a non
chalk means like everyone is saying
like chalk it up,
Like
kinda
the
thing?
CJ
consensus.
Stroud is going
Consensus.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, chalk it up.
rankings.
Yeah.
Got it.
So what are some non-chalk picks in the first round that could kind of switch things up a little bit. And they
could
did
have just said, "Hey,
You
act
mean
like Bill
before the
Belichick."
Bengals?
They did the whole draft, and they were
If the
trying
Steelers
to
don't
see.
take an offensive tackle, it could shake things up quite a bit.
They
Well, I thought we were
Third
going to
quarter.
say some picks.
If well,
remember when
and-
the Patriots took the guard last year, the
Yes.
Strange,
Mhm.
and everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
What the hell?
And then
Yeah.
he was fucking
was
really
good?
fucking good.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah, I mean,
then,
there would be like one or two reaches. I don't know who
like
that would
somebody
be.
had they had the Texans not taking a quarterback, which everyone is saying right now the Texans are going to take a quarterback. Like things like
I
that
think
happen.
they'd be dumb if they didn't.
yeah, I mean, I'll just say Arizona taking
Not trading back, or Arizona taking a quarterback would be
That would be
at
wild.
3.
That
you
would
know?
shake things up.
And then everybody
Bear-
like, "What the
Eh.
fuck?"
If
Or
the Bears
the-
took a quarterback, that would kind of fuck everything
well.
up a little
Mhm.
bit.
Yeah.
I think that's
Um,
super unlikely.
What about the Bears took like Bijan?
The Cardinals not taking
You
a
guys be
That'd
quarterback.
be the most
surprised?
Bears thing ever.
But I mean, would you be surprised?
No,
No, they love their running backs. They
Yeah.
have a long
Yeah.
history.
That's
of
why
it.
they didn't want Zeke, because they love their running backs, and then all of a sudden they take Bijan or something. That would be crazy.
because
I
they
just-
picked ninth, I think.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
picked 9th.
I
it's
don't
like,
think it would be
oh.
crazy. I wouldn't be
Yeah, a lot
shocked.
of people have like Paris Johnson pegged to them, and it's like
Yeah,
they just go Bijan instead of Paris if he's
Yeah,
on
I
the
mean,
board.
They
Like,
That
just
would be
ran
a-
Montgomery out of town. I mean, they have Herbert, but yeah, I can see
Yeah.
it.
I've had him kind of going to the Eagles at 10. I don't know if that's like too much, but I've had that since he was visiting the Eagles. I'm like, it
Or
makes
Jalen-
sense.
Jalen Carter not going in the top 10. I would love that just because of his dumbass.
Not going, but I understand that though. I also understand
Oh, yeah.
it's like I'm that confident that I'm
But-
going to go and that's coming from your agents and stuff like
Right,
that.
and-
And his agent is Drew Rosenhaus, and it's not like his agent isn't plugged in. Drew's pretty fucking plugged
But
in.
the one thing that I
What?
heard
Outspoken.
was like, what if a team that was like pick 14 or something wanted to trade into the top 10 to make sure they got that guy, but they won't now because you didn't want to take that interview or go out to meet him. Like things like that could happen. But since you are saying no, I'm not taking any teams that are in the
No, I
top
agree.
10. You know what I mean?
I agree. You never want to like cut that off, but
Yeah.
I still think he goes in the top 10. But like
He
it would
definitely
be.
could, but
Hey, you never know, man. He ever smoked out of a gas mask? Because I mean, that dropped pencil to 13. You know,
I can honestly say I've never smoked out of a gas mask.
I was talking about.
I'm not
him,
saying
Derek.
I wouldn't.
You're trying
I'm
to
not
put
saying I
yourself on the
wouldn't.
damn spot. Like, what the fuck, Derek?
Right.
Trying to incriminate yourself. No, now Gibbs. What's your thoughts on Gibbs? That's been a hot topic, Derek. While you've been in hibernation / working a lot.
About does he go first round?
Yeah,
Or-
would you take him at 28? Fuck, that's
If you're saying,
I didn't say anything. I didn't say
Okay.
anything. I
Are
just
you
said,
saying
would
you
take
take him
Gibbs at
over-
28?
over, I don't
You
know.
put your parameters on it.
I
didn't say anything.
am very strong against taking a running back in the first round.
I was cool with
Because
Bijan
I
just
think I
because.
said,
But
and Bijan, I agree, he's an elite talent, but
people shit on that, and I was like,
and I had said
okay.
it in our group chat, like, how many running backs has helped your team the year they were drafted win a Super Bowl?
How many rookies have helped
Yeah,
a team win a Super Bowl the year they were drafted? How many rookies, period? I'm not talking about just running backs.
0.
So how is that an argument against running back? It's just like, yeah, I mean, I don't expect
It's
these guys to be
running
like,
backs
Well, hold
just-
on,
that's
man.
the
The
thing.
Chiefs had like 6-7 guys that helped them win the Super Bowl.
Pacheco.
well, yeah, but he wasn't first round.
Okay, I know, but
talking
does it
about
matter
first
where
round
you
running
got
back.
him?
I was putting Joe what Joe was saying. I was trying to answer the question.
Yeah, no,
'Cause I'm sure a lot of rookies have helped teams win it. It's
Yeah.
just they're not.
Well,
you
yeah.
know,
the
the guy or
the,
whatever that first
the
year.
value. I just don't think it's now like Gibbs and those guys could be elite of elite. They could be the next freaking
Yeah.
Zeke.
I don't have the answer for it.
2017.
I'm asking you because I mean Joe's kind of on board with it. Hell, Santori, you're kind of on board with it, right?
I'm kind of a
Yeah.
running. I'm kind of a
You said you wouldn't be
Zero.
surprised if they do it. I don't know if you said you would like it.
I am.
Because
Oh,
I've been like, I just don't know. I think he's an electric player. I'd love to watch him in the jungle. I'd love to see him in stripes and watch him ball out. But I'm also like, okay, still it's the value of the running back.
Yeah, my ideal scenario is to trade
it's tough
back
for me.
into the early second, pick, grab an extra pick, take Gibbs there. I just love how he fits in the offense as far as a pass catching threat. I would love for us to pick up an extra 1 or 2 picks at some point during the draft anyway. And yeah, I think 28 is a little bit of a reach for
Little
Gibbs.
rich.
I wouldn't hate it, but yeah, my ideal scenario, trade back to, I don't know, 33-ish and pick up an extra draft pick and take Gibbs there. That would be my ideal scenario,
Okay.
but we'll see what happens.
Now
can I answer a question? Because Crypt is like losing his mind over Ivan Pace Jr.
yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch him at all personally.
Yeah, you
gonna
said
say-
that before when I was high on him as like when he was doing well at the Senior Bowl.
He's
There's some personal stuff.
He's
with
definitely got a
Santori.
chip on
There's
his
some
shoulder,
personal stuff with Santori.
he's
Rowdy's on board with Gibbs.
he's got a little perfect in him. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
There's some
I was going to
problems.
say, he's got a big old chip on his shoulder because everybody's saying he's too small to play linebacker in the NFL.
Well, he's been playing a little rough since high school, but we'll put it that way. I remember my quarterback trying to take a knee to end a game, and he came flying over the top and went helmet to helmet with him, and I've had issues with him ever since.
So I said it's personal for him.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's
I know
hard
it's
for you to
personal.
forget. He's
but
a
as
kid.
far
People
as
mature.
Gibbs goes,
I hope he's matured over the last 7 years.
like the running back for pick 28.
But I ain't forgot that fucking kid. Fuck that kid.
If for some reason, like all of the players that we are looking at, like your Darnell Wright, your even DeJuan Jones, I would probably take Kalijah Cansey, all those guys, Jackson Smith and Jigba, which if he's there, I'm all
he ain't gonna be there, but
JSN
yeah.
for me, but he won't be. But like all of those guys aren't
Well, that's
there.
what I had. I had Cansey. I was going to do that around the horn because
Yeah.
I think that's most of the Bengals fandom has been like, oh, Cansey, which I'm just like, he'll be gone. But we don't know that. It's the draft. Anything can happen. And it's not like he's a surefire, like top 10 to 15 guy. So anybody outside your surefire, like 10 to 15 guys, can always
I
slide,
like
in my
that.
opinion.
What do you guys think? I
What
like that
about-
comp a lot.
Who?
Keep Percy Harvin.
I mean, he's Kamara. That's kind
I
of
mean-
the
Yeah,
same thing.
Yeah.
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 Yes, he's Alvin Kamara has been his comp this whole process.
Mhm.
He's going to continue to be.
And I think it is Kamara
And that's
because
good. He's good.
what's funny is when I was scouting Kamara, I initially didn't like him. I was just like, I just don't necessarily see it. And he came out and he proved me way wrong, which I'm always happy to be wrong. I always want guys to succeed.
It was a perfect fit.
right.
Mhm.
I'm
And
always,
he didn't even get the starter opportunity at
Not at first.
right. And
first, yeah.
I'm a lot of times I'm happy to be wrong because a lot of times when I'm wrong, it's because I was negative on somebody. So I don't have anything against any of these kids. I all want them to flourish and be great players and live their dream. Because I know I would want to as well. But what's funny is when I first watched Gibbs, I was like, man, I just don't see it. And then I did some research that said comp Kamara. I'm like, well, I said the same fucking thing with him. So maybe I'm just
Maybe you just don't like that style of
maybe
play.
that style of running back just doesn't pop off to me. So
Yeah.
but
if we were most other teams, I wouldn't like him for us. I just love the fit because I think that we are going to have to throw to the running back a lot.
well,
So
if
I
Joe
want
has
a
his
guy
way,
that has some game-breaking ability and that has sure hands.
if Joe had his way, there wouldn't be a running back with him back there. We know that.
Five
It would be
wide.
5 wide every
Stretch.
fucking time.
Yeah.
So you got to find a guy, and maybe that's where the Bengals are still going to show us that they are continuously changing. Because, like we said, he doesn't necessarily fit the mold of what they go after for running back. He just doesn't. But if Joe wants that 5 wide LSU approach, And it's call it what it is. The offense is morphing a lot closer to what the Saints were when they had Peyton and Breeze. That's kind of where this thing's going. So a
You got that
Kamara
Creole mix
or a Reggie Bush type running back would make sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm very interested to see what they do with the type of running back.
You sound like you want to get on the Gibbs hype train. There's plenty of room, Santori. Get on board.
I like Gibbs. I don't like drafting running backs in the first round for two reasons. And it's kind of the same reason, really. Yeah, I hate the 5th-year option because I have to pay a running back a lot of money. And if I don't pick up the 5th-year option, that just shows running backs I'm not going to extend you.
Totally.
And I don't like extending running backs past the age of 25 because by the time they hit 28, they're fucked.
I'm being much more short-sighted. Sorry, continue your points.
Joe just says, I want a fucking Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah,
that's why I'm okay doing, a speedier back in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round to where there's not as much money locked up. If it doesn't work out, I'm not burned with a first-round running back. And if he does turn into something electric, well, guess what? Hey, guys, I got him in the 3rd round. I'm going to go get another one in the 3rd round. Go make your money. Go have fun. I do not believe in extending running backs.
Am I getting on the Gibbs train too? Because I was just thinking, hold on, Joe. I was thinking, you know what? I'm thinking of the running backs because you said later rounds and the speed guy, Santori. You did this to me. And it got me thinking, I'm like, okay, who else is near, even close to as electric as Gibbs? There's not. There's not a guy that compares to his explosiveness in this fucking draft class. He is rare with what he does. And catching the ball, he's elite.
Here's the thing, though.
Fuck!
I don't want
to be on the Gibbs train.
He's there, baby.
I will get you off the Gibbs train really quick.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you ready? Do we think he's going to be a Kamara-like running back?
I think he has that upside, yes.
Are you going to extend him for Kamara money in 5 years?
Fuck no. I'm going to win.
Then don't draft him.
I'm going to win 2 or 3 Super Bowls at that time.
Why would you draft someone?
We're competing for Super Bowls. We're not a 9-8 team.
I'm not competing for a Super Bowl this year. I'm competing for Super Bowls for the next 10 years. I'm not going to fuck over my team.
No running back, like by I think your philosophy, no running back should get a second contract.
None.
And I see what you're saying is like, so why invest that?
Actually, a good
right. So what if I'm not going to extend the guy? Why the fuck would I draft him? That's a waste of draft
to win a Super Bowl
player. It's the same. It's the same reason to argue for Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell because Jamar Chase was a special fucking player. I'm not saying Jahmyr Gibbs is anywhere near that level of prospect. I'm saying he's fucking special and he can make a big difference and score some goddamn touchdowns.
Let me ask you this, Santori.
We're winning 4 straight Super Bowls. Fuck a 5th-year option.
Let's say,
if you can promise me that
we draft Jahmyr Gibbs. These guys are making me think.
Jahmyr, damn it!
These guys.
Jahmyr.
Oh, I'm. Why?
Put some respect on his name.
These guys are making me think about it. If we draft Jahmyr Gibbs, and in 4 years, instead of picking up the 5th-year option, because we won 2 Super Bowls in the time that we've drafted this guy, right? I'm not saying he's the reason why. I'm just saying he's been excellent. He's been a Pro Bowl running back for the Bengals in these past 4 years. We extend him for $8 million a year. Are you okay with that?
If the price of running backs would come down,
it probably will.
I'm thinking it's going to.
I am thinking that it is starting to, based on how this last round of free agency went.
Mm-hmm.
If the price of running backs comes down, and you could tell me that for sure, that the price of running backs and those second contracts are going to come down, or you can tell me that he is going to be a change of pace and he's paired with someone else, I would consider it. The issue is that second contract is a pain in the ass. $8 million 5 years from now? Well, $8 million is my limit right now. $8 million 5 years from now is going to be cheap as hell. Yeah. Sure.
Right.
I
get that.
It's just
it's
hard because
right now, like $8 million sounded Like,
Here's the
that's
thing.
my thing with Joe Mixon. If Joe Mixon was $8 million a year right now,
Jameer Gibbs train, and I don't want to be fucking talked out of it right now.
If you told me I could get, if you told me right, and this is where I kind of teeter-totter, right?
mm-hmm.
If Alvin Kamara from 3 years ago is available right now for $8 million, with the way my roster is currently set up, he would be here in a fucking heartbeat because $8 million is fine, and the amount of production you're going to get is through the roof. The issue is, one, I don't know what kind of production I'm going to get out of Gibbs. They're all gambles at this point. They're just all lottery tickets. That's the entire thing with the draft. Running backs, I don't like gambling on because I don't want to do a second contract on it. Now, if he ends up being really, really good and that third, fourth year starts rolling around and I got to make a decision and it looks like he's going to break the bank, I guess you can always trade him because someone will trade it through their fucking ass for Alvin Kamara at his height.
By the way, Jameer Gibbs just turned 21. Super young.
Yeah, he checks every box.
He's one of the youngest guys in the class.
And here's the other thing to think about. The NFL goes in cycles, right?
How much? Hold on, real quick. How much do you pay to get Jenna Jameson's titties in your hands, Chris?
Hold on, I was gonna get to that, but we got a super chat there.
Okay, let's go to the super chat.
We gotta go to super chat first.
Sitting here thinking,
trust me, I've been wanting to ask Pork Chop about all this. I'm gonna send the link so you can hop on.
Yeah,
tell us.
I'm bleeding.
Oh man,
and I don't know from where.
But Travion Williams' max upside is
you say you're bleeding?
Ryan?
Yeah,
Samaje.
I don't know where. I've got blood on my hands.
My opinion, Samaje. Why are you bleeding? Like, are
you're
you that
bleeding?
mad?
I got sweaty armpits. He started talking about Jenna Jameson.
No,
You're not hurting yourself over this.
No, we started talking
ear?
about the Jameer Gibbs train, and he was like, "Oh, he got just fucking angry and like hurt."
I'm bleeding
He's
in
got
my ear.
Who is
My,
it? The one
my
guy
ears
that's
are
like,
literally bleeding from this draft.
From all the kids' gloves.
There's a link, buddy. You got to hop on. You got to explain this. I don't want to hear about where it was, or I don't want to hear nothing. We got to hear it.
Yeah.
But so Rowdy's super chat was, what is Travion Williams' max upside? To me, it's maybe P. Ryan.
Yeah.
Like good blocker, good receiver.
diamonds. Okay.
Could have a good game if given the opportunity.
His absolute max upside. I think he's probably out of the league in 3 years with his max upside. He's starting to get older.
Comping.
Hold on, I was gonna say with his max upside, he's Barry Sanders. If we're doing this,
no, Jesus,
because because Michael Mayer's Drew Sample's wildest dream for Drew Sample was Michael Mayer.
God.
Yeah, for the fucking genie lamp, sure.
Travion is 25, about to be 26 in October.
He's got a lot of tread on the tires because he hasn't been used, right? Yeah. He had a fantastic career at Texas A&M, another school that's been slowly putting out pretty decent running backs. I think he's probably okay. I think he probably has a little bit more of a fumbling issue than people realize. Here's the deal.
Would you say Jamal Williams is his max upside, maybe?
I can't see him
getting Jamal had like 6 years, and he just had his breakout year last year.
I would say if everything went right, he could be 1,000-yard back maybe once.
Travion's like 5'8", 200.
He's not that kind of guy. If everything
Jamal's
went
not really
right,
that big either, is he? Though
I'm looking.
No, Jamal's not. Yeah.
If everything went right, he might be 1,000-yard back one time, which isn't really saying much.
Jamal's 6 foot 224. I mean,
yeah, that's
really that big.
That's a big difference.
Oh,
a very big difference.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that big.
Yeah.
What kind of headset you got, Pork Chop? We got fucking.
Tony, man.
We got the mayor of Jenna Jameson.
I just saw the curly Q going down on the side. And like, you got like a ham radio over there.
That way I can walk across this room to my fridge and get more fucking these Bud Light fucking seltzer drinks.
When Pork Chop joins, it's officially going to After Dark.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
If any of
trying to
my
say I'm not
employers are
kid-friendly?
watching, now is the time to turn off.
That's a good idea. Before I start talking, Derek.
For the
and Joe, you
podcast
got your kids
listeners, if
tucked
you have
in
any
bed?
children nearby, it might be a good time to turn off the show.
No, my kids aren't tucked in yet. Well, they
Uh-oh.
might be.
Welcome to After Dark with Pork Chop.
Yeah, so when I worked in radio, man, I was I've done gigs before where Jenna Jameson was in town, but that's not where I held her titties. I was up at Diamond's strip club, $20, hold her titties. I sat down
$20
for
is all it costs.
Polaroid.
What
She
year
sat
was
on my-
this? What year was this?
I don't
We
know,
got to talk about
goddamn.
inflation here. Like, what would it cost today?
Inflation.
Like
It was
50
definitely
years
inflated.
ago.
They were inflated a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. It was I don't know. It was probably like 2004, 2005, something like that. She was in town with
Okay.
Ron Jeremy.
Jesus
I didn't hold.
Christ.
Did you hold
I
his
Did you
didn't,
hold
dick?
his dick?
I didn't hold his
Ah.
cock though. No.
That was free for pork
That,
chop.
I only had the fucking $20. I didn't have enough money for Ron Jeremy's cock. I'd have held that motherfucker. Come on, man. That's a legend. That's a
Right
legend
there,
cock.
he's holding it like this.
Yeah, I'd hold that bitch like a fucking. I'd put mustard on it.
Oh no!
No, but I
See,
went
this
up
is
to.
why I don't let this show go this long. This is
I went
why.
up to Diamond Strip Club,
Oh.
and Jenna Jameson was there, and she sat on my lap, and she took my hands and put them right on her titties. It was great. And then I fucking went to Hooters and I left the goddamn Polaroid there. Son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
guarantee
Diamonds.
you, Hooters kept that Polaroid. It's probably just like on
That's
the
probably
fridge in
hanging on the
back.
fucking wall.
Yeah,
In the
They-
bathroom.
They've got that framed somewhere.
It was
Yeah.
down. There's the Hooters on the levee down there at Newport.
Okay.
Oh, I love that place. I mean, good wings. Good wings over there.
I do have the Polaroid somewhere. Kobe Ty. You know Kobe Ty?
Cobra
No.
Kai?
Kobe
I know
Ty.
Cobra Kai. Oh.
She's another porn star, Derek. God damn. You don't
I
know
don't
porn
know.
stars? What the fuck is
No,
wrong with you?
man.
You don't know all the porn stars.
We
I'm
don't
married.
collect them
I don't know what you're
like
talking
Pokemon
about.
cards.
I'm
Pork
fucking
Chop.
married too.
I do Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And
When you're married as long as me, you'll learn a lot more porn stars.
You have your favorites, Derek.
You'll have your top 10. We'll be doing a whole fucking new show.
We'll have a
I
new
think back
fantasy-
back in that day in like early 2000s, it was like
Pork-
Tara Patrick for me.
Hey,
You remember her?
boom. Do I remember her?
Pork
I got a
Chop's
fucking
going to be
whole roll
having
of
his
pa-
own
hey,
fantasy draft. To
I got
show.
a whole roll of
Hey,
paper
listen.
towels taken up by Tara Patrick.
Fucking love you, dude.
who's the porn star that does
Isn't
fantasy
it Good
football now?
Friday? Like,
Hey,
is a
one
good
thing,
Friday.
I'm
My
not
favorite.
I'm not fucking
She's my
Catholic,
favorite porn
man.
star.
I had
There's a-
beef mariachi and Bud fucking Light. I'm not Catholic. Let's go.
Catholics drink more than anyone.
I'm on the west side, so yeah. I fit right in with the drink.
You're like 50% Catholic if you're on the west side. It's part of the DNA.
I guess it's automatic. It's a rule. What
It
can I
is.
say? What were you going to ask me, Derek?
There's a fantasy football expert that actually does fantasy football. Lisa Ann. Lisa Ann is a fantasy football expert.
That does fantasy football?
Yes. And she is actually really smart when it comes to fantasy football.
Is she a porn star? Like, or
Yeah,
is
she's
she?
a porn star.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't say that.
Well, you didn't. You just said
I did.
she's a.
I said there's
I
a
didn't
porn
hear you.
star who does fantasy football who's
Oh,
an
I missed that
expert,
part of it.
and she's on
I
Sirius XM.
Gotcha.
It's called Lisa Ann Does Fantasy, and it's a fantasy football show.
Oh.
But there's a lot of people that click on that not thinking.
I
it's
got to
football.
tell you, I don't remember the name, but
Oh,
chances
you say
my
are,
wife. I
chances
started
are
talking about
probably
porn
rubbing
stars.
one
My
off.
Lisa
wife
Ann?
looked at me odd. So yeah, Lisa
say
Ann,
Li-
look her up.
Oh
I'm
no,
gonna
I know
look
who
right
she
now.
is. She's I've seen her in like some cougar videos, like some MILF videos.
We're talking about fantasy football, babe.
You,
Like MILF like fantasy
Fantasy
football
football.
videos.
I believe you for
Yeah.
that.
She was
2.5
okay.
seconds.
She
Oh, this
was
one?
Yeah.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
so she played Sarah Palin in an Eminem music
Yes!
video.
Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah. 8-hour shift today. Absolutely. And that's Anthony right there. That's Anthony Kazenza right there. The Godfather.
Anthony.
What's up, AC?
Hey, I'm conditioning my body for this for the draft because if I'm gonna do a fucking 3-day marathon,
You guys don't know this, but Dale's just gonna wrap this around for another 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my
I've
draft
gotta
today.
fucking get prepped for it, right?
Start hydrating.
Dale, I'm with you. I've been drinking since that 3:30 show.
I didn't even tell my wife I was getting on a show. I didn't think we would be going this long, and she's probably like, "Where the fuck do
Joe
you
and I
go?"
said we got an hour, and then we're done.
I'm so
I
proud
gotta
of you
go.
guys. I'm so proud
I gotta
of
go
you
service
guys.
my wife.
My wife's about to like.
Well,
punch
that's
my
one
lights
reason
out
I never
because
have
I started
to
talking
leave.
about porn stars.
All right, y'all. I gotta go. Who day?
Peace, Joe.
Love you guys.
Love you,
I
Devon.
love you.
See ya.
Adrian!
Pussies. Pussies.
Oh,
These guys that get along with their fucking wives are pussies, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make my
I
wife happy.
love my
Guess
wife.
what?
I gotta go.
My-
I gotta go have sex and shit like that. Fuck that, man. I'm free man. right here.
my wife and I work polar opposite schedules, and I see her
Pornhub's
maybe.
24 hours a day, baby. I'll get mine when we're done.
I think I see my wife a total of 12 hours a week. I think that's it.
That's the way that long-lasting relationships happen, to be honest. Because you're around each other too much, you get sick of each other. You just fucking start bitching about the dumbest shit.
So Ashley and I don't see her on Monday. I don't see her on Tuesday. Wednesday night, I see her at like 8:00 at night for a couple hours before we go to bed. Thursday through Sunday morning, she works a straight shift taking care of a kid with autism. I never see her.
Oh shit! Look at this motherfucker.
Hey, Anthony, what kind of beer are you having? That's the real question.
Should I go get a beer in honor of Dale?
You should go grab a bottle of that liquor all over your fucking back wall. All that liquor and someone that never fucking drinks.
I drink periodically. It's just not a ton.
Right.
Don't peer pressure and pork chop.
I do
fuck
collect.
that. Get drunk. It's peer pressure, man. Let's get fucking high. Let's get drunk.
I
some
do
crack.
collect. I do collect bottles. I'll say that. So there's
Bringing
a certain.
some fucking meth up there. Let's go. Peer pressure.
So
We'll be up all night. We're gonna
So,
fucking ride
Greg,
a
have
snake.
you ever held Jenna Jameson's titties in your hand like pork chop has?
Oh my god.
No, I have not, man, unfortunately.
Stick around, Greg.
I'll be
Hang with
back.
me, buddy. I'll get some titties in them hands.
I thought that's where you guys would go last night after you dropped me off when you
I
come
will.
in.
He will fell asleep.
I fucking drowsed out, man.
He did. He
I like
fucking
was-
passed out.
Crip. I'm sure he did, buddy. I'm sure he did. I really hope Terry told Sarah. That's probably what they're doing right now.
That's why he had to get off here so early.
Man, I can't pronounce the shit you're fucking drinking. Anthony?
Some kind of IPA.
Yeah, is it Artifacts? I don't know. So I'd pronounce it, but it's
I don't know what the fuck it is. Let me see. Artifacts. That's what it looks like to me. It's
all
orange
I
and
know
black.
is if you're
I
not,
fucking.
Oh, well, he can make you one.
Hey,
by the way.
AC, I made this fucking hat. Boom.
Pork Chop's a man of many talents.
I might get one made for AC and send it out there to Cali.
Well, if anyone deserves one, it's AC. He's the godfather.
Where are we going, Greg? To the shitter?
Oh, am I?
Oh, you got to get in your room?
My
We're not allowed to see the rest of Greg's house. That fucking shit, man. He keeps that on lockdown.
That's where the dead bodies are, Pork Chop.
That's true.
Well, but
Well, I mean,
where all the lint is and all that. My house is not that clean. I'm surprised James didn't complain to me or something when he came over that one time.
Greg,
Well, I'd tell you about my house, but then my wife will overhear me.
What's that, James? What's that, Dale?
Huh?
What you said? I'm two. Then you Pork Chop interrupted.
I'm a fucker like that.
I don't remember, Greg.
I'm a son of a bitch, Greg.
Yeah. Hey, that's why I'm Buck Joy, buddy.
Buck Joy.
Buck Joy.
That's his name. I love it.
Buck
Joy.
Oh, I see it now. I didn't even see. Man, I've been fucking drinking since we were on here before. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Well, I cut grass at fucking 11 something. That's when I cracked my first one open. I said, well,
Man, back in the day, I would have smoked some grass. Oh, there you go.
so might as well make it a day. Gotta get
Apple
prepared
pie
for the
mead.
Apple pie. I was looking at their website the other day. I want to get some of that fruit punch shit they got in a can.
Yeah, this is not from Brimminghorn, actually. So I feel like I'm
Oh,
cheating.
it ain't
on
their
them.
fucking show. So drink whatever you want,
No.
Santori. Drink
Well,
whatever
they
you
were
want.
a sponsor. I mean, they sent us some stuff. Whatever, we would shout them out for months.
Yeah.
Same thing with like we're sponsorless.
Or Nike. They
We're
wouldn't
up for
sponsor the
sale.
show.
We're up for sale.
Right. Cheap.
If the Orange and Black Insider wants me to come on and do a show, 3:30 show or something, I'd be game for that. Just gotta ask me.
Right now, this show's sponsored by a little fucking Quickie Mart down in South Carolina and Rowdy.
Yeah. Rowdy and Foxy. Foxy when he's
Brought
working
to you
on
by
the roof.
Rowdy and Foxy.
There we go.
All right.
West Virginia.
Country road.
Country road.
Take me home.
Take me home
to the place
where
I
I
belong.
Fuck my cousin in her butthole.
Greg likes Portsmouth pizza better than La Rose's.
That's
Take
true.
him home.
It don't taste like apple pie, but it's good.
Oh. Does it feel like apple pie when you stick your pecker in it?
Moving on.
Let's go.
So you guys want to do it after dark?
I think we're already there.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look at
I know, but I probably should end this for the sanity of my other hosts. Who have left.
Oh yeah, that way they're not associated with whatever we say from here out.
Yes, because I don't want them to be associated with my.
Hey, Joe might run for president one day too, and he don't want this shit on there.
It makes sense. Joe's a smart guy,
Yeah, he is.
but I'm thinking maybe we do a belly up to the bar. Well, no one fucking subscribes to that, so.
So what? How many people are on here now? Rowdy, he might come. Crypt Keeper will be there. AC, we need you at belly up to the bar, buddy. Crypt, Fiji. Yeah, those people will follow us over there. I'm pretty confident.
Santori could just fucking light a rally up.
There you go. Rally After Dark. Last time I watched Rally After Dark, it was him playing fucking
Oh, he
Tetris
said
or some
no.
shit.
He said not with you, degenerate fucks. Wow, that was very
His
rude,
dad
Santori.
won't be part of the show if we get on there.
Well, let me I gotta log into fucking Jeff's account and everything else to fucking do this fucking belly up to the bar.
I don't know how to log into Jeff's account.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
also, I need to just fucking. Well, maybe I could call Jeff and be like, "Hey, Jeff, I need you to set up a show."
Cripps got the first question twice. That's 2 questions in the first round.
Ooh, we can have a questionnaire, fucking Joe.
Go
Or like
for
a
it, man.
fucking trivia
What questions?
show.
I probably am not going to jump on because I got to work early tomorrow.
Oh, what a fucking
So-
cuck!
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be up. You want a wake up call? I'll fucking take care of you.
Hey, Santori, can I visit you at work tomorrow again?
No.
Why not?
What weird shit are you two doing at Santori's work?
Oh,
How many test drives can you do in a week, Greg, before they start fucking
that's
thinking it's
right
weird?
him all day.
Greg, how long have you been drinking?
He just started.
Just started.
Okay.
God
So-
damn. You give a guy roadhead one time on the way home from Dale's house. Next thing you know, you're hitting on all his buddies too.
Yeah. No, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't even fucking know what to do, honestly. Oh, yeah. Santori still has sponsors. Yeah. See,
Yes.
our show don't give a fuck. Santori's like, oh, I have a 3-way sponsor.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
please.
I still cut the greatest fucking. I cut the greatest fucking promo of all time.
Adam loved it too.
I'm telling
Honestly.
you.
I will plug something real quick. We've got about
Bet you
20
will.
hats that we're going to be giving away from Three-Way City. So Greg's got them all stored somewhere.
You want me to show him right now?
Greg, why
Sure.
didn't you fucking bring me one? You just
Yeah.
came to fucking Portsmouth, Ohio yesterday. You didn't bring me a fucking hat, Greg.
Giveaway givers. I thought those were for the giveaway. Hold
Well, you
on.
weren't gonna fucking charge him, were you?
What the
It would have
fuck,
been a
Greg?
giveaway.
Jeff,
Oh, look, he done fucking cut his
are you
camera
gonna
out
set the
now.
fucking show? Set the fucking show, the fucking one show we do, the fucking belly up to the bar show.
Look at
Yeah.
Fiji's comment.
I didn't know you guys were doing one. I'm getting ready to pack.
Ooh!
Yeah, Greg, why didn't you bring me one of those three-way city hats, you fucking cunt?
You didn't ask for one.
Greg
Fiji's
has
right,
like
Fiji's
20
right.
three-way city hats. We're still live right now.
Who the fuck doesn't want a three-way, Greg?
On my show.
I thought these were for the giveaway.
But I was saying, we'll do it after I was like, we'll do a belly up.
Hey,
Porch Up
nice
on
one,
here.
Santori.
Greg. And we got about 20 people in the chat that want to migrate over. So I thought maybe you'd set one up.
This ain't bad.
You can go live.
Why you sound so tired?
I'm not.
Because he's been drinking since yesterday.
Fucking A.
You have been drinking for like a week
You
straight.
still at the ball game?
Your point is?
The game
No, I
ended
don't
like
have
three.
one. I'm just
The
telling you
game
what
ended
the-
like 3 hours ago. He's just still there. He's sitting in section 429 by himself.
Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, let me go. I'll set the show up for you.
Did
All right.
you bring me the orange? Did you bring me the orange?
So I need to find a fucking link to the actual fucking show, by the way. Which is gonna be hard to do because
Did we just burp at the same time?
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
man, my wife's gonna kick my ass too. I hadn't even thought that far ahead. You doing the show? I said, yeah, doing one at 8. She's already like kind of like, fuck you.
What the fuck are you smelling on your hand, Greg?
I just make sure I know pizza sauce when I was touching the hats.
Pizza sauce. All right.
Greg, you touching your own ass?
I got pizza. You see my pizza back there? I got a pizza laying on the fucking bed. Because that's where I do my work.
Dale, what does touching pizza sauce have anything to do with touching your ass?
I don't know.
I still like Fiji's comment. I
bet
want
you
what
can
Greg
find-
has if he just
Yeah.
started drinking.
Right.
Jack and Coke? Okay, go for it.
You sound a little tipsy. I'm not gonna lie.
I ain't tipsy, man. I'm perfectly fine.
Are you tired?
No.
Yeah, you just seem a little out of it. That's all.
Oh, today you didn't go anywhere. You probably got your nap.
No,
Get your nap.
how am I usually?
So there's the
You're
link to
usually
the
not
belly up
slurring your words as much.
to the belly up to the bar show. Jeff is packing, getting ready to head home, but he's gonna set up the show. Then I'm gonna move on over to that. Well, he's calling me back now. He's probably like, hello?
Set up. Jump on. Go for it.
You got it ready?
Yeah, whenever you want to start it. It's up.
You sent me a link?
I'll send it to you.
Send Pork Chop and Greg and Santori a link.
Going
All
to
right,
bed.
we'll do.
All right.
Maybe I'll join in from bed.
There you go. Make sure you got your shirt off for us.
I typically do.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
What does it mean if I'm based? Am I too old? What does that mean?
I don't
Fried,
fucking know, man. I'm
Fried Bologna said that I'm based and a non-degenerate. I guess that's a compliment. I don't know. Maybe I'm boring.
I don't see Fried Bologna's comment.
It's
I
almost all the
see
way
it.
up.
Santori is based and non-degenerate.
What does based mean?
Maybe biased. Maybe it's supposed to be biased.
No, I've heard based before. Like that's a thing. I just don't
Like
know.
the
if
Ace
it's-
of Base.
I don't know.
I saw the sign.
It opened up my mind. I saw the sign. Probably like that, Santori.
So
You ain't down with Ace of Base?
who do you subscribe to?
Don't worry about it. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was me.
Oh.
Never know.
Maybe he's subbing to me. Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, apparently belly up to the bar. Jeff's starting it, and I'm gonna fucking get on there, and I'm also gonna fucking log into that. And
What link do I click? The one that you put up here in the chat?
Jeff said he was gonna send the link. No, that's just
Kevin-
the YouTube for people to.
Oh,
Kevin
okay,
says
go
it's a
on.
good thing, so I'm gonna roll with what Kevin said.
Base is a good thing. Yeah,
All
Kevin
right.
knows the words of the kids.
Yeah, Kevin's
Oh, I see
like
it. It's in the fucking. He sent me a link in the Twitter.
All right, well, I got to figure it out.
I just opened my Twitter outside of the link that Dale sent me, and I have 52 notifications.
None of them
That's a lot for me.
I'm open to
Oh.
talk about anything, by the way.
That-
Like,
you know
we
why? That's because of the fucking whole French toast, chicken and waffles, and
That's-
steak and eggs.
That's right. That's what
Hey,
it's-
also, we can like fucking play music or fucking play videos or anything on this other fucking channel because it's not mine.
Well, let's peace out here and go there.
All right, well,
I
fuck
gotta-
you guys. I hope
I
you
gotta
join us.
poop.
Yep. Fuck you too. See you in a
We'll
minute.
see Santori on the shitter here in a
That's
couple
right.
of minutes.
Go get in position, Santori.
Who that, baby?